The heck? Yeah, I'm like genuinely like exhausted. I'm so tired. I don't know. I had like a whole fire alarm debacle this morning. I was supposed to sleep in because I didn't get much sleep last night, yesterday either. Um, but because of I don't know, it's like some temperature differential stuff between like outside and inside, and I'm like blasting my AC because, of course, like the human body sleeps way better if your like room is super cold. So I'm like blasting my AC, and it's causing like pipes to leak or something. I don't know the physics. If I bet that scumbag Dr. Blitz would be able to explain it to us. But anyway, um, what happened is that I got woken up like way too early, like several hours too early by the fire alarm. There was like tons of water that leaked from the pipes into the fire alarm. And now that motherfucker was going crazy. So, here we are, like genuinely exhausted, but nevertheless, I hope everyone's doing well. Um, there's there is like this sick argument that I picked up. I'm telling you all about my ongoing foray into college philosophy courses, but um I was watching the lecture from my professor on the problem of evil, and he presented just such an incredible argument. Um, Although I think it probably exists in the literature. In fact, it might even be the thing that Plantinga is responding to with transworld depravity. But um, the idea is just that God can create creatures who are essentially morally perfect, and then these essentially morally perfect creatures will just always do the good thing. Um, Now, what the knee-jerk reaction of the Christian is going to be, they're going to say, "Well, yeah, but then there's no free will." But that's like the infinity blender, because if being essentially morally perfect means that you don't have free will, then that means that God doesn't have free will because they think that he's essentially morally perfect. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure how they get around that. They they'd probably need to I don't know. I think they'd need to do some sort of like weaseling. Um, but anyway, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. Um, wow. Humidity and condensation with the big, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think that makes sense. Watch the World Cup? No. Why would I? No, I'm kidding. My girlfriend's like a bigger World Cup fan than I am, so she tells me about the goings on. You know, I especially look forward to all those Euro people crashing the fuck out if America wins against Belgium today. That's gonna be crazy funny. Um, Describe your logic-based morality. Is there a name for it? Yeah, I mean, if you want like the overall name for it, like kind of the umbrella category for that is like ethical rationalism, where you take your moral epistemology to be logic itself. So you're okay. There are a couple of branches of philosophy. The branch of morals concerns itself with telling you more or less how you should live your life. And then epistemology tells you about like theories of knowledge, like how we come to know certain things. So putting that together, your moral epistemology is how you determine, how you come to know the things that you should do, how you come to know the moral facts. That's what moral epistemology refers to. So I think that I personally find like the very compelling moral epistemology to be ethical rationalism that holds that you can determine like ethical facts based on logic itself, that you can like deduce certain moral facts. There are other people who fall into this view. For example, like Kant is pretty firmly in this view. All the subsequent Kantians like Korsgaard pretty solidly in this view. I don't know. I quite like the view. I think it's good. All right. Hey, if you're in that guest request box, I only have one person requesting to join, and I'm like just about certain that they're a troll. So obviously, I'm not going to take them. So, but if somebody wants to debate the topic, if you think that God does exist, feel free to request to join. You got to be 18 or older. You got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I also ask that you have some sort of reason to think that God exists. Let's go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Wake up, fool.
Hey, how old are you?
Wake up, fool.
Are you good? You having a good one? Okay, having a bit of a crash out. That's too bad. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, how old are you?
18.
Yeah, what religion?
Islam.
Yeah, what makes you think that God exists?
Everything.
Okay, like the rape of non-king makes you think that God exists?
Hmm?
You said everything. That's one of the things. Like the rape of non-king?
Everything.
So-
like everything.
So like the rape of non-king makes you think that God
No.
exists?
Everything in nature.
Oh, okay, I see. Sure, yeah. So for example, like parasites that lay eggs inside of like other animals, and then those eggs like burst out very gruesomely. That makes you think that God exists?
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. What do you think?
Well, I think that's pretty cruel. I think when I look to nature, there are like there's an entire category of animal that can literally only survive by tearing to shreds other conscious creatures. Carnivores can
Mhm.
only survive if they tear, I don't know, like various other creatures to shreds with their sharp claws and teeth. It seems sadistic.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
You disagree that that's sadistic? Couldn't we just all be like vegetarians, or better yet, like photosynthesize? You're muted. I don't know if you're aware of that. You like muted yourself or something.
I mean, what do you expect? Everything exists for a reason. If I move my bottle of water, there's some force that needs to be moved.
I'm not sure if I'd say like the force itself was moved. Like obviously like a force acted on the bottle of water, but I mean I also don't really see what that has to do with the example I'm giving you.
Have you ever made food before, right? You've ever
Yeah,
cooked,
I've made
right?
food. Yeah, I've cooked, yeah.
Could you cook with no ingredients?
No, you couldn't cook with no ingredients, but of course, I mean, if God made me in such a way that I didn't need to eat to get energy, I wouldn't need to cook in the first place. And likewise,
But you
I
need
mean,
energy to worship him, obviously.
but then God could have made it so that our bodies get this stuff automatically, or he could have made us get it through like photosynthesis or something. Like you'd agree like animal abuse is bad, right?
I mean, that's people doing it, not the souls. How dumb are you?
Do you think animal abuse is bad?
Yes,
Why is that bad?
because you're abusing an animal.
No, I know what animal abuse is, but I'm asking like, what's the wrong maker there? I'm asking you, like, what would you say is wrong about that? There are some features that I think you could reasonably say it's wrong because of. For example, you might say it's wrong because of like the suffering that inflicts upon the animal. Okay, so you agree that all else equal, it's bad for animals to suffer?
Yes.
Okay, so then why would God create a nature that's like filled to the gills with animal suffering?
Because obviously humans need to survive off animals. And
Why?
your atheism thing also was created
Why?
for...
Wait, sorry, why? Why is that the only way that it could have been? Why couldn't God make us like photosynthesizers?
different reasons. Humans need to live off iron. Vegetables only can't really provide iron fully.
That's very strange because a lot of vegetables, in fact, do have iron. One sec, let me just go ahead and verify.
Not to a level.
Like for example, I think a lot of vegetables, or at least like greens, provide like a ton of iron.
It's to like an extent of a level.
Yeah, sure. So then God could have made it such that we get that much.
Okay, so you've seen when like you eat other animals. For example, if a human eats another human, obviously that human's going to get sick and get a disease. But when a human actually eats meat, they're not going to get sick. There's a reason why meat was made.
Yeah, I think you're not really engaging with the main point, which is just that it involves like tons and tons of suffering. And we agree that animal suffering, all else equal, is bad.
Yes.
So
but
we
there's
could
something
have
called
God.
survival.
God could, well, yeah, but we could have had survival without like gratuitous animal suffering.
Have you heard of everything that happens for a reason, right?
What's the argument for that? Why would I believe that?
Hmm?
That certainly is your conclusion, but why would I grant that? There are some instances of animal suffering that can't possibly be for a reason. So, for example, you can find like a whale that swallows up an octopus, and then the octopus gets digested alive. Like it literally has to feel itself have its like own body torn apart, like dissolved in stomach acid, some like grotesque, horrifying experience like that. Surely God could just
Yeah,
like
but let's
snap
move
its
on
neural
from
connections.
let's move on from animals. Let's go into the human basis.
You wait, sorry, that was your piece of evidence, was nature. You pointed to nature.
Yeah,
You said that
nature also
nature is the
includes
evidence for
humans.
God.
Nature also includes
Well,
humans.
but it also includes octopi getting digested by whales.
Yeah, but you know why that happens is because of the race for survival. The
Yeah,
survival of the
sure, but
fittest.
couldn't God snap his fingers and make it so that their neural connections, I don't know, like rupture before they end up there?
No,
Or
he
like as
can't
soon
because
as
everything
they end
happens
up
for a
there?
reason.
Okay, then he's not all
Everything happens for
powerful.
a
If
reason.
he can't do it, then he's not all powerful.
Hmm?
If he can't do it, then he's not all powerful.
Have you seen blood moons and everything?
Wait,
or...
so you agree that God's not all powerful, right?
No, I do.
Oh, but he can't. He doesn't have the power to sever the neural connections of an
He
octopus.
could if you want to, but he's not.
Okay, sure. So then he just chooses not to. So there's this piece of suffering. It serves no greater purpose, right? The octopus is going to get digested by the whale. God can foreknow that no matter what, the octopus is going to get digested by the whale. I mean, at that point, it seems like God could be merciful and sever their neural connections so they don't have to experience this like last horrifying
I mean, he could, but
experience.
have you read the story of Pharaoh himself,
No. What's the story
where
of
he
Pharaoh?
suffered until the end? And
Oh,
drowned in
you
a
mean
pool
like
of
the
blood?
Moses story? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that, but what the hell does that have to do with the octopi?
Oh,
Like you might
God
want to say
actually-
that Pharaoh deserves
God
the
made him suffer
suffering.
to death. God.
Yeah,
made him
yeah.
suffer
Do you
to
think
death.
that the octopus deserves to suffer?
In some circumstances, I don't think it's suffering for them. I don't
Holy
think animals
shit.
have their. I don't think animals have their way of suffering. I don't think they
You
have
don't
their
think
own
animals
definition of suffering.
suffer? Wait, okay. So you do think they suffer, or you don't? I'm confused.
I don't think they suffer.
Wait, sorry. Hello? If you're off the app, I can't hear you. You got to come back on the app.
So I don't think animals suffering with another. I don't think an animal abusing another animal suffering, because for animals they don't really know what suffering is. They don't
You
have
don't-
the definition of suffering.
You don't think animals suffer? We agreed earlier that one of the things that makes animal abuse bad is that you're causing a lot of suffering to the animal. Of course,
Technically,
animals
for
suffer.
humans doing that, but I don't think
Yeah, but the animal is the
animals
one experiencing
themselves
the suffering.
abusing other
What?
animals have the excuse or the realistic reason or logic of actually thinking it's suffered. They don't really have a
You
definition.
don't
of
think
thinking
animals are
suffering.
capable of suffering? Octopi are like super intelligent. They have extremely like in-depth experiences of things.
So if they're intelligent, why don't they, build anything?
Because their environment doesn't lend well to that. That's more of like a land animal thing to do. Especially
Well-
like advanced land animals will use tools. But in fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if octopi use tools. I bet they probably do. Let's look. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's like trivial. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They assemble various shells. Oh, yeah. Wait, this is so ironic. They actually apparently do build like structures. They build structures out of things like shells and like like coconut shells, clam shells, and
Alright.
they'll make
And
it
what do
into
you
like a
think
mobile
gave-
home.
What do you
Apparently,
think gave the animal?
That's
What do you
cool
think
as
gave the
fuck.
animal? What do you think gave the animal the brain and the mind to actually build a
Whoa, this is
structure?
a pivot. So we agree that this octopus that's getting digested by a whale That there's no reason for it to actually experience the suffering, that there's no greater good
It
that comes out of
does
that, right?
experience suffering, but the
Yeah.
way we
What's
think
the
of
greater
suffering,
good
the
there?
way we say suffering, the way we think of it, or the definition of suffering is not the definition of suffering for animals. They think it a different way.
Okay, but what is it like to suffer like an octopus? Like, what's the difference there?
For
do you-
instance, an octopus is like it's deemed to die.
It's deemed
Technically.
to die. I don't know what the
Yes.
fuck that means, but I mean, I just want to get clear. When you say that animals suffer differently, what does that mean?
I mean, it's food for survival. Another animal needs to eat another animal.
You know, sometimes
survival.
humans get eaten too, but you know, that's kind of besides the point.
Yeah, but
So,
if you eat
I
a
just want to
human,
know, wait, so you agree that like octopus suffering is bad? Like all else equal, you know, if there was somebody fucking like torturing an octopus, that person would be horrible. And one of the reasons why they'd be horrible is because there's something wrong about
I think
inflicting the
all
suffering.
suffering is bad. I think all suffering is bad.
Okay, so then you agree that this octopus suffering is bad.
Yes. Let's
Okay.
move on to human suffering.
Wait. So then you agree that there's some things in nature where there's like instances of suffering that happen with no greater reason.
For instance, yes, and for instance, no. Most things in
Oh.
life are a test for humans.
Damn, that's so based. You know, there both is and isn't gratuitous suffering. Wow. Truth nuke. Sure. Okay. I mean, that's like a contradiction, right?
We'll see on the day of judgment, okay?
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Where do you want to pivot to next?
Humans.
Yeah. What about humans?
Human suffering, okay. Where do you think, okay, not human suffering, but where do you think humans evolved from?
What do I think humans evolved from?
Yeah.
A variety of things. So, for example, we evolved from Homo erectus. We evolved from Australopithecus. You can keep tracing our genome back, and in fact, there's like tons of evidence for that too. I mean, if you're going to
And there's
reject
also
evolution,
tons of evidence that God exists himself.
Okay,
if you
this
read in
is
the
another
Quran,
pivot.
if you
That's
read in the
brutal.
Quran, it says things that existed 1500 years ago that no one knew, and today science is proving that today in the Quran. The Quran was really revealed 1400 years ago. No one knew about all this stuff until today.
It also seems to say false things, right? You know, for example, it says that the Earth is older than the entire universe, but I mean, also it specifically singles out the stars. It says that the Earth is older than the stars. That's just not true. The Earth is younger than many stars. In fact, it's younger than our star. If you're off the app, I can't hear you. You have to unteacup yourself.
Yeah, so what did you say before? I did not hear you.
Yeah. The Quran also says false things about science. It says that
As of
the
what?
Earth is older than the sun. That's false.
What makes you prove to think that the Earth is older than the sun? What makes you prove that the sun is older than the Earth?
I think that's a good question. I have no idea. Let's actually look.
You see exactly. That's
do
how I
we
proved you wrong.
know the Earth is older than.
see, you're using
the
Google.
sun? You teacupped just now. You were using Google. You're projecting. You're a
Huh?
hypocrite. In fact, I don't have any problem with you using Google.
I'm not a
We all-
hypocrite at all.
Wait, sorry, wait. We all know that you used Google every time you
Nope.
swipe out of the app. You teacup.
I did not even use
That's
Google.
that's why I told you you
I-
have to be on
stop
the app.
lying. I did not
Otherwise,
even use
won't.
Google,
Wait,
bro.
like
I did
literally
not even
everyone
use
saw
Google.
it. Whoa, there's
I did not even use
that's
Google.
that's not even bad, right? Like it's not even bad to teacup. Like I don't even have a problem with that necessarily. But like you did that, everyone saw you do that. It's totally
by
fine.
the way, when it
but,
says
right,
leave-
like,
okay,
let's
okay.
just not
Even if
be
I try to swipe out of my,
hypocrites.
if I try to swipe out of my app, it'll say leave it. Okay, I did not even press that. Okay, if it says leave, I'll leave the whole thing, not just be teacupped.
No, but you can swipe out. Like you can literally just raise it up, and then you'll
Now
be
let's
off
not
the
go
app.
to this. Okay, let's go to the proof where Allah exists Himself.
Okay,
and God
okay,
exists
sure.
Himself.
Yeah, now that you got exposed for like being a raging hypocrite, sure.
I'm not a hypocrite, but I hope hypocrites like you, inshallah, they will burn in the wraths of hell
That's very loving
on the
of
day
you.
of judgment.
You have a lot of hate in your heart.
I don't have a lot of hate in my heart.
Clearly
I have a
you
lot
do.
of love for God in my
Wait,
heart.
do you think that people for the crime of like not believing in God deserve torture forever?
Huh?
Do you think people for the crime of not believing in God deserve torture forever?
No, not torture forever. God does not want anyone to go to hell. He gives you a
It's
chance
infinite
every day.
suffering.
Every day you wake up, He gives you a chance to repent and become a better person of yourself.
Okay, we can just pull up the hell verses if you're saying that it's not torture forever.
For the disbelievers, it is forever.
Yeah,
What do you
exactly,
think- okay.
right? So it is. So do you think that for the crime of not believing in God throughout the course of your life, you deserve the punishment of torture forever?
For some point, yes.
What the fuck? How could that ever be true? Like literally just think about like some atheist. Like you probably have like a friend who's an atheist.
I
Do you
don't
think
actually.
okay.
I don't
You've
really
n-
have any
you've
dumb
never
friends. I
you
don't really
probably
have any dumb
yeah, I'm
friends
sorry,
like
right?
you.
Like you would need friends to have atheist friends. That's my bad. But I mean, you know, you have you ever met an atheist before?
Yes, I have actually.
Yeah, do you think these people like deserve like you think the individual people that you've met in your life deserve to get tortured forever? I don't
Technically,
there's not a
yes.
there's like
Not forever.
there's not a
God
single
actually has different
person
levels of hell.
there's not a single person I've ever met. Maybe one. There's maybe one person, probably not even one person. Uh, I can't think of like hardly anyone that I
That's your
think
belief.
deserves
You want to
torture
believe like
forever.
that? Let's see how it ends up. Let's see how it
So-
ends up for you.
But there's like good reasons why your belief structure is gibberish. In order to make that belief work, you need to commit yourself to like insane principles about justice. For example, one thing that you need to reject is that a just punishment needs to be proportionate to the crime. Do you think a just punishment needs to be proportionate to the crime? That is to say, like, you know, do you think that the severity of the punishment should be way higher than the crime, or do you
It
think
goes
that
by
it should be
different.
about
It goes
the
by different
same-
things. For example, if I go to a grocery store and I just go steal things to like a limit of $1,000, I'm gonna go into jail probably for a few months, even a year. If I do more multiple crimes, more robberies that extend to more prices
Mhm.
of like more higher prices,
This proves my
I'm gonna
point,
be in
by
jail.
the way. This is literally
I'm
my
gonna-
exact point that the severity of the
listen,
punishment
listen,
tracks
listen.
the severity of the crime. That is
Listen, I'm
literally
gonna-
my exact point.
I'm gonna go to jail for hire, right? I'm gonna go there for years.
Yes.
And then if I do murder, I go there for life.
Yeah. This is literally my exact point. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the exact point. God is obviously giving you a chance.
So
to
then you
change.
agree that a just punishment needs to match the severity of the crime?
Hmm?
Does a just punishment need to match the severity of the crime?
Yes, it does.
Sure. Okay. Does the punishment of torture forever match the severity of the crime of not believing in God?
We have to think about time. It's not
Yes or
forever.
no
It's
question.
eternity.
Well, okay. First of
It's
all,
never ending.
Yeah, that is forever. To be clear.
It's
It's-
not time. It's just
Wow.
infinite.
You know,
in-
I'm a
infinite.
vegan. I'll have the ribeye.
Of course you are.
What? Like, what are
I
you
wouldn't think
talking
anyone
about? You're
else
just
is.
like directly contradicting yourself. And the joke went over your head. Even
You're not even coming up with anything to like prove me wrong. I'm the only one that's.
you're
proving me
literally
wrong.
directly contradicting yourself. You're saying it's not going to be forever. It's eternal. It's never ending. Never ending means forever.
Yes, that's the exact same point of infinite.
Okay, so then we agree that you're contradicting yourself. So do you think that the severity of the crime of not believing in God matches the severity of the punishment torture forever?
Yes, you have to
That's
be punished at some point.
crazy. That's so crazy. Who is
How do you
harmed?
think-
Wait, sorry. Who's harmed infinitely by you not believing in God?
It's not
through
for
the course
infinite.
of your-
Okay, it
is.
matches the
said
way
it's
you've been.
forever.
No. Every
it's never
person
ending.
is
You
given their
said
own
that.
punishment. Every person is supposed to have their own punishment. I could go to hell, probably like any person could go to hell for probably in this world, probably in that world for a while, and then they get put back into heaven. It's kind of like cleaning yourself so you'll go back into the good area. You
Yeah,
go back to
unfortunately,
heaven.
that's just not true. We can pull up all the verses that describe in detail how hell for non-believers is forever. So
It is forever, but I'm talking in the Muslim way.
in the,
'cause
it's
it's a non-believer.
forever, and also it ends. You know, it's never ending except when it ends. Is that correct? That's what you're telling me.
What's your point of view after death? What is your point? Of view?
Okay, yeah. I would pivot away from this point too, because, like, frankly, you know, the incineration started early for you.
No. What's your point? You give me your point. I already gave you my
I think
point.
that we have a good reason to think that there's nothing that happens after death for you, that you simply stop existing. Like all the evidence that consciousness reduces to the brain is evidence of this. We have tons of evidence that consciousness just is, or that it's like dependent on the brain.
Have you heard from people who have had NDEs? My friend himself had NDE.
These people are like giga hallucinating, obviously.
It's not hallucinating.
It's obviously a hallucination. Of course, your brain, you're going to see like some whack shit when your brain is flooded with endorphins.
How do you think? Okay, how do you think everything evolved? Nothing cannot come
Okay,
from everything,
yeah,
and everything cannot
W
come from
pivot.
nothing.
W pivot,
Everything
W
cannot come from
pivot.
nothing. Nothing cannot come from
Yeah,
everything.
I agree. Maybe if you say it more times, like I don't reject either of those. I think that everything comes from something. I think there was always something. I think the universe always existed.
Always something, right?
Yeah,
So
the universe.
there had to be something that
Oof.
created the universe.
You really tried to stuff that one in there. No, the universe could have just always existed.
No, something
Oh.
cannot just
Oh,
randomly
fuck,
exist.
I just didn't think about that. No. Wow, that really changed my perspective. Hey, chat, No. Wow.
No,
Do you have
listen.
like a
If I get,
you got
for
you got like a
example,
real
if
counter argument though?
for example, if I get like, for example, a turtle, right? A turtle cannot make another turtle without there being another turtle.
Okay. Sounds good. What about a
So the
cell? Wait,
universe,
what about a single cell?
Hmm?
What about a single cell? Can a single
a single
cell
cell
make another
cannot
single
make
cell?
anything. It divides.
I have my goat. Oh my. You're like a philosophical juggernaut. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm not even gonna clown on you for too long. Which one what do you want to talk about next?
What made you an atheist, buddy?
I think that the models of God on the market are pretty unsustainable.
Why do you bring the market into this? What type of brain do you have?
Like when I say market, I mean like the plausible philosophical positions on God. Like there are various different models of God that exist in like theological, philosophical literature, and I think that they're all either like contradictory or like deeply, deeply implausible.
Hmm. So you don't think that? So let's go back to something that I said before. Everything cannot come from nothing, and nothing
Okay, yeah,
cannot come
W
from everything.
pivot. Was there a reason why you're like short circuiting? I don't know. I feel like you're like time warping.
No, no, no. My time is very valuable for me.
Okay, are you sure? You keep
Yes,
on
I'm
like
very sure.
you keep on it's unironically like the instead of like the Mott and the Bailey, you have like the Bailey, where you have like 4 dog shit points and you keep on like bouncing between all 4 of them. Like you get blown out on like one
I
and
mean,
then
you
you
have
like
the same
pivot to the
dog shit
next
point
and
of
then you
yours.
like
Atheist,
pivot
atheist,
to like the
atheist,
third
atheist.
one.
God doesn't exist. God isn't real. We're
Whoa,
gonna see
are
black
you
when we die.
are you
What do you
okay?
think, buddy?
That
You
doesn't
have the
even make
same point.
sense. Well, now it's like the crash out.
Hmm?
Let's just calm down there.
I'm not gonna calm down for
Okay.
you. You have the same points too, the same 4 points. Atheism. God is not real. This and that. Come debate with me. Come do this.
Well, I don't think atheism is a point. I think that maybe it's like a belief. You know,
It's not a point.
maybe
It's not a point or a belief. It's nothing.
maybe it's like an
It should not even be
ideology.
existing today.
Well, I don't think it's nothing. I don't think that that's true. But you know, what else could we talk about? Do you think do you know the game? Do you think God has the power to win the game?
In order to win a game, you need to have some sort of, mind into the game. You need to get points in order to win a game.
No, not this one. So the game is just like the game where you like lose it if you like think about it, like the way that everyone in chat just lost the game, and that everyone watching this in the future on YouTube like lost the game.
This is going
but
on YouTube?
Probably. I mean, it's already live streamed.
Hmm. And this is being logged into God's book too.
Yeah. Okay.
History book.
I bet that he wishes it wasn't.
You see, you just said God existed. You just said
No,
I
I'm
wish
clowning
it
on
wasn't.
you.
You see, you literally just explained your own
Oh
question.
boy. Wow. I thought I was supposed to be the autistic one. Damn. This guy can't track jokes at all. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, okay, yeah. Sometimes there's like a little like burst of excitement. So fuck, I don't even remember like what were we talking about just now? We're talking about oh yeah, the game, yeah. So
Yeah, the game.
yeah, the game. The point of the game is you're trying to forget about the game. You're trying to not remember it. Do you think that God has the power to win that game?
Yes, I do think he has the power to win that game.
Oh,
In order to get
so then he's not all knowing.
no. In the game of going to heaven, for example,
Oh,
God
that's not the
is
game I'm
all
talking
known.
about.
In the game of going to heaven,
let's try to get aboard the tracking train, okay? Do you think you know, the game where the objective is to not remember the game, you can Wikipedia that, it's called the game. Do you think God has the power to win the game?
could you explain this more in depth for me? Because
Yeah, okay. So the objective of the game is to not remember it. So sometimes the fact that the game exists will pop back into your head, and then you'll realize, fuck, I just lost the game again because you remembered it, and you lose it when you remember it. And then
what is the game in this context?
well, that is the game. It's called the game. That's the name of it. I'm sorry. This is clearly the long the wrong line of dialogue. I thought that one was going to be simple enough.
No, I don't get this.
Okay. Do you think God has the power to make a rock that's so heavy that he can't lift it?
Who, God himself? He cannot
Yeah.
lift anything. He could lift everything.
Okay. Does he have
His
the
own
power
power.
to make a rock that's so heavy that he can't lift it?
He has the power for everything.
Okay. So he has the power to make the rock that's so heavy that he can't lift it. Does God have the power to lift the rock that's so heavy that he can't lift it?
I mean, how much are we talking about? How much weight are we talking about?
It just has the property that it's unliftable by God. God imbues it with the property unliftability.
Okay, do you believe that?
Okay, I guess we're not getting it.
Do you believe you have a brain? Do you believe you have a brain? Let's go into this. Do you believe you have a brain?
Wow.
You're using
yeah.
your brain right now. You're
Yeah.
using your brain, right? You're
Correct.
using your brain,
I
but
do
you haven't
believe-
seen your brain.
Yeah, I agree
You
with
haven't
that.
seen your brain.
Yeah, I don't think you need to see something in order to think that it's real. The reason why I think that I have a brain is because all the other humans have a brain, that every time we've opened up a human, we have a brain, or they've ended up having a brain. That indeed I
So-
have like
so-
felt things like my neurons firing or like a headache or things of
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
sort. You
So
know,
the same
you can
thing
feel
with
like
that.
jiggling around.
So the same thing with that.
Okay.
God, you can't see God, right? You
Have
can't
we
see
ever
God.
have we ever encountered other things that have God? Because we've seen
We've
I've seen
encountered
brains
things
in
that
other
have-
beings. So
Huh?
have we ever seen God?
No, we haven't seen God, but we've seen everything of his own like everything he's made. Everything he's made to be existent.
Okay, I don't think this is very analogous to brains because we have seen brains in other people.
Hmm?
Like when
Yeah,
we
we've seen the
cut
brains
up,
in other
we
people,
cut up
but
a
we also have
body,
books.
they have
We also have books
brains.
saying that God exists. We also have books saying God exists.
and we have books that say God doesn't exist. So what?
And how long ago were those books made?
Earlier than yours, we'll go with.
I don't think it's made earlier than that.
Oh, what about well, your book was made in like the 600s. That's kind of a bold stance for you to take.
What?
For sure. There's books that predate Islam that are going to say that God doesn't exist.
What form of Islam are we talking about? There's different sects.
All of them are going to originate from the 600s, or at least they're going to trace their lineage back to the 600s. Wait, your wife is getting kind of loud in the background there.
That's my brother, you idiot.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I get confused sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's
It's working. Come.
you know, there are books that say that God doesn't exist, and for
What
example,
books?
you're going
What
to be able
books?
to, for example, like you could trace back, I don't know, let's take like Aristotle's physics.
Agit?
Huh?
Agit studying.
He's talking.
We talking.
Talking
What are you saying?
a retarded person.
That this can't possibly be evidence. The fact that there are books that say that God exists can't possibly be evidence because there are books like Aristotle's Physics wherein he argues that the universe always existed, which would entail that God doesn't exist.
How do you think the freaking universe would just come from nothing?
It just always
How do you think
existed.
something would come from nothing?
I don't think that. It always existed.
This one.
All right, I'm gonna go make French fries. For example, I'm gonna go make French fries. I don't have
Mhm.
potatoes and I don't have salt, right?
Oh, I don't think that could
How am I
happen.
gonna be able to make that like the French fries? For example?
I think this would be like a sick killer argument if I believed that the universe came into existence out of nothing. That's not my belief, though. I think the universe always existed. You know, I think it stretches.
Do you
back
believe everything
infinitely.
happens for a reason?
What do you mean by reason? Like, are you asking like, is there like some sufficient cause to produce everything? Because I think there's probably
Everything
a
happens for a
sufficient
reason.
cause to produce everything. But if you're saying like everything's like orchestrated in like a plan, then no, I don't believe that. Why do you keep pivoting? It's like you're afraid of your own questions. It really
I'm not
is
afraid
like
of my
the
own
Bailey,
questions.
Bailey.
I'm just afraid how God could have made something like you.
Oh, yeah, you should be scared. Blah. Yeah, one day you'll
We'll
look
see
like
on the day of
this.
judgment. We'll see on the day of judgment. That's what
Okay.
you're gonna be saying, okay?
Bro, Allah and I are going to be laughing our asses off watching this debate replay. I bet
Whoa.
if Allah
Whoa,
exists, I
you know-
bet he
you know-
probably has
you
like a
know-
sense of humor.
You know, I think the prophets are gonna be laughing at you for what you said.
We'll see about that.
You're just denying everything you see. You're just
That's
you're
not
an
true.
idiot, okay?
I affirm lots of things that I see.
You're just believing in something that a dumb British little scientist created a few years, like hundreds of years, like
Uh-uh.
100 years ago. Few
Graham
hundred
Oppy
years
is Australian, actually.
Hmm?
The CEO of atheism, Graham Oppy, is Australian.
ago. No. The person that
atheist
came up with
Pope?
evolution. The idiot that came up
Oh.
with evolution.
You don't believe in evolution?
I don't believe in evolution. I believe we
Oh.
came from Adam.
That's so sad. I mean, gosh, you really could just look into the evidence. Have you looked into the evidence particularly deeply for evolution?
I've seen everything I could have, and you would think humans have changed too.
Okay.
I mean, most humans haven't changed for hundreds of thousands of years.
Could you
We've been
name,
the same.
for example, could you name like one species that Homo sapien came from? I named them earlier.
Neanderthals.
We
Neanderthals.
did not come from Neanderthals. That's not true. We coexisted with Neanderthals.
I mean, you're talking about other animals.
I'm asking like, can you name, if you've looked into this, like who are some like predecessors? In fact, there's like the big three in terms of things that you'd classify as coming after Homo erectus. You know, we got Homo sapien, Neanderthal. Do you know what the third one is? This is something you would know if you've looked into this, by the way.
What did it start with? It's on the top of my
D.
head.
I'll even give you the
Denisovan?
first. Ooh, Denisovan?
Yeah.
Whoa, look at you. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, wait, so do you not think the evidence for like Denisovan is good?
No, I don't
Oh.
think so.
What do you think the fossils are?
Hmm?
What do you think the fossils are?
I mean, of animals, yeah, fossils. What do you think? Why do you think God? Okay, if you did make us for evolution, you'd still think that we came from Adam and Eve.
If he did make us for evolution, I'd still think that we came from Adam and Eve. That was like
No,
a
no.
gibberish statement.
No, other things came from evolution, but humans technically didn't, if you think about it.
Well, but it's so strange then that there's this direct line of creatures that leads directly to humans, in the same way that there's like a direct line of creatures that leads to all the other animals.
Hmm.
It just kind of makes you think that we came from the same process as them. And to be clear, you know, I think that you should be a theist. If you're going to be a theist, you should be a theist who believes in evolution. There's no reason to be a theist that rejects evolution. That's silly. Now, there's tons of evidence against your view.
Hmm?
Like there's like an overwhelming amount of evidence for evolution. And in fact, like all of the evidence related to our genome, the fact that we share like similar mutations in similar spots as things.
Why do you look
That
at this
we're
stuff? Why do you
closer-
look at
What do I-
this genome, that?
Because it's good to learn things.
Where do you believe humans evolved from?
Lots of things, a long line of things.
No, which continent do you believe humans evolved from?
Africa.
Okay, that's technically true. Humans did evolve from Africa, but we evolved from two humans called Adam and Eve, buddy.
That's just not true. There's no evidence of that. In fact, there's good evidence. If I'm not mistaken, there's good evidence to think that we came from the entire population of Homo erectus, because that's how population change works.
Population change.
Yeah.
And why do you think humans even evolved in the first place?
Because of all the fossils, because of all the DNA similarities that get,
No, why would a species need to evolve? First of all,
because there are certain traits that are going to be more favorable for survival and reproduction, depending on the context.
survival, right?
And reproduction, you know, the traits that get spread throughout the genome typically
Yes, I
help with
understand. that.
survival and reproduction of the gene.
Wow, this person is just cursed by God, bro.
Hmm.
Have you heard of the story of the Dead Sea and how the Dead Sea existed?
The Dead Sea still exists. What are you talking
No,
about?
how it got to existence.
How did the Dead Sea come to existence? What's the story there?
Like people like you. God
Oh.
chose a choice to curse people like you.
Hmm. And then the Dead Sea just like comes out of nothing, like that just had no
it was
connection.
a land where people were
Listen,
living normally.
I can't
People
help but
like-
notice that this story fucking gargles, right? Like the story just makes no goddamn sense.
people like you. Okay?
God,
people
so
like you.
step one, God curses people like me. Step two, the Dead Sea comes into existence.
No. It used to be a normal plot of land, okay? Humans used to live, okay? Let's just say, for example, the city of Manhattan, okay? People used to live there, for example, they used to live there normally, live their lives, okay? And then randomly, people, let's just say people like you, okay? They
Mhm.
live there, and God chose a way to, curse them. So, God chose to curse them. He made the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea literally swept them all away. Have you gone there?
So you just like drowned them?
Yeah, he drowned them.
It's kind of fucked up. I think drowning people is typically pretty bad.
Don't you think what the cops do to people arresting them, that's pretty bad? Or the electrocution chair?
I think the electric chair is probably a bit much. I'm prima facie I'd be against the electric chair in all instances.
And why does that
But I'm
need to
not
happen,
against the
right?
death
Why does that need to
penalty
happen? That's
in
a
every
punishment, right? That's a
instance.
punishment.
Yeah, because sometimes you do a crime that's so severe that you warrant it, but I don't think that you should be if indeed the crime that you did is so severe that you do deserve death. I think that we should give you like a humane death
And let's
because
think about like
we're better than the people that we give the death penalty to.
let's think like this.
presumably.
God punishes people, right? God punishes people for a reason, right? And then why do bad people and good people stay away from each other? The good people go to heaven, the bad people go to hell. For one reason why. Okay, I'll explain to you.
Well, you don't think that there are like any atheists that are good people?
I mean, good people in a way, but not in believing in God. Okay, what happens when you mix snow with dirt?
You get like dirty snow? The
Yeah,
fuck?
would you be able to clean that or no?
What do you mean by clean that? Do you mean like
Would you ever be
extract all
able
of
to
the
make it back into
snow?
the form of snow it was, the clear snow it was? Would you ever be able to make
Okay,
back
well,
into
what I
it?
want to do is ask you like the modal scope of this question, but let's say no. Let's avoid that entire discussion and say no. You'll never be
Let's
able
think like
to.
that. God mixes the good people and the bad people, and the bad people have an effect on the good people. The good people turn just like the bad people, and the good people become bad. They can't become good again,
Hmm.
and you can't clear that.
Wow, that was so insightful. Yeah. So what the fuck? Like, why would God make the bad people?
It's the humans themselves. It's not God made everyone for like a test.
Why wouldn't God just make the people who are like essentially morally perfect, whose like very essence was moral perfection? Couldn't God make some people who had the essence of being morally perfect?
He did.
Who?
Prophet Muhammad,
Didn't he like
Moses.
marry like a
That's not true.
6-year-old?
That's not true. In
not
Arabic, they
true?
count that. No,
You reject what is it, Bukhari Muslim?
I'm not of that faith. I'm a Shia Muslim.
Oh. Yeah, oh sure. Yeah, maybe I don't know how this all works, you know. I know that there's like at least one of the sects gets to like weasel their way out of it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't follow Bukhari.
Okay,
That's
sure. So okay, you reject it looks like Ems has something to say about that. Ems, what are you thinking?
I mean, I heard Chia, so
Yeah. Wait, so I don't
yeah,
know
what
how
is the
this all
topic?
works. Is it true that like the Shia Muslims get to like weasel their way out of all the hadiths?
The Sunni hadiths. So Shias have their own like hadiths that are based on Marvel and weird stuff. So
Oh, that's right, because there's like the big split.
they
So
have
like
like
which whether you
they
listen
have
to
like
like
the
his
superhero
friends or his like
hadiths. Yeah.
relatives, sure, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And are all the ones related to Aisha, are those all Sunni?
The Shias have them too, but they don't have a consensus upon it.
I
But they
see.
still think that she was like a lot of their Ayatollahs say that she was 12, she was 11, she was 15, etc.
Mm.
It doesn't make it better, but they still have a lot of problematic hadiths. Just that their hadiths are more supernatural.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So you could
you
have
know,
like a random hadith about a guy flying in space and beating aliens and stuff like that.
that sounds sick as shit. Can you imagine being that guy and then you have to come back to the year like 900 AD? God.
Hmm?
You have to come back to like shitting in like a hole that you dug in the ground.
we don't believe we go back to that.
Well, but can you imagine being can you imagine being the guy that got to go to outer space and then fight aliens?
We do not have that hadith. I don't know what Ems is on. I don't know what drug
You
he's
have a
on.
lot
I
of
think he's
weird
high.
stuff, including stuff that are similar to that. For example, you have the hadith about Ali having the power to fly and the ability to create creation and birth humans and breathe fire and weird ass stuff. They believe that their imams, the 12 imams, have 72 out of the 73 powers of Allah.
We don't believe that.
Yes, you do,
No, we don't.
but you wouldn't know because you're like 12 years old.
Oh, I'm not 12 years old for your information. I'm 18, turning 19 next month.
Same thing.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. Have you like looked particularly deep into your religion?
Yeah. They have a hadith in which the Prophet is like who says that I feel like confused by a man who beats his wife when he is more deserving of beating than the wife. Do not beat your wives with physical force. Beat them with hunger and nakedness.
Would you affirm that, Yusuf?
I've read all of them. This guy is hot.
You read all of them? You read hundreds of thousands of hadith?
Every dude, this guy's a fucking scholar. This guy's like mega mind. This guy was in his fucking time chamber reading through all. What a crazy absurd claim. Why would you even claim that? It's like obviously false. Like if you started right now and read all day every day, you probably I don't think you'd be able to read all of them between now and like 19 years from now.
I mean,
100 years.
let's make you go. How about you go to the shrine of the Shia Muslims, and you could go see a bunch of
Shrine?
miracles. I've been there, and I've seen a bunch of miracles, and I'm not lying
Yeah,
to
tell
you.
me one. Tell me one.
I saw a rock bleeding. Ah,
A rock bleeding? Was it after like
What?
somebody like bashed your head in with a rock and then you like saw your own blood?
Hmm.
Is that what left you in the
Hey,
state
by
that
the
you're
way,
currently in?
By the way, do you know they have a hadith that says the reason that seawater is salty is because the fish cried for Ali when he died?
Bro, I think I'm about to cry too. Well, hey Yosef, thanks so much for the whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, Shiism is like genuinely just marble with together.
You know, I think that there's like something to that. Well, in some sense, like a lot of religions draw in these elements. They didn't realize how silly they would age.
There was a guy, a Shia Imam. I think the video is really popular, but it was in Arabic. He said that the reason that Hitler was so successful is because he was crying out for Imam Ali and his children when he was invading the nearby lands.
You know, ironically, that also sounds like something that Benjamin Netanyahu might say.
Insane.
Yeah. All right, let me read some supers. Miss Katza, thanks so much for the 12-month Magnificent Mary, the masterful 2-pen twirl. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thimi Tai, thanks so much for the super chat. Came across Derek Parfit. Any tips before reading on what matters? I haven't looked too deeply into Parfit. I get off the meta ethics bus from Parfit pretty early on into the distinctions. I'm like a pretty staunch like internalist about reasons. So okay, let me break that down. So we have reasons. We take actions for reasons. There are certain reasons by which we take actions. You know, maybe we take actions. Maybe you cook the pasta, and the reason that you cook the pasta is because you want to eat the pasta. You know, that's your reason for doing it. I think that all of the reasons that you have to do anything are going to come from your own goals. I don't think that the concept of external reasons makes any sense at all. If I don't hold doing this thing as my goal, then it doesn't make any sense to say that I ought do it. So that's why I think that ethics needs to stem from goals that everybody shares. So I don't know. I to answer your question, no, I have no tips on this. Eat some shorts. Thanks so much for the super chat. Magnificent Mary, thanks so much for the Magnificent Mary subscription. Can we introduce more dodge, pivot, and joke whoosh counters? True. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Wolfbane, thanks so much for the super chat. Critical thinking is not this caller's thing, is it? Definitely is killing me. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. Ian, that joke was evil good. Good job. Thanks. I'm popping off. I'm like super sleep deprived. You know, I'm very linear. I can't even get in my head, right? There are no thoughts. Dr. Pizza MD, your wife is getting loud. LMO, LMO obliterated. Here's $5 for the laugh. Yeah. That one was pretty good. That one's like that one unfortunately is kind of like the Muslim incinerator. When they have like a young child in the background. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. The Dead Sea was the result of tectonic activity cutting off the massive range of water. Just FYI, it's very interesting. That makes sense because doesn't it have the property that like nothing is alive there, or that it's like, is it the one that's like too salty? Or no, maybe that's
By the way, did you see my message when you were on Unapologetic?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see it Wall, obviously. I did see that guy's bio. I was gonna confront him about his like crazy bio, but I don't know.
And his followings are very Muslim, so
Yeah, well, that's what I think I saw like a comment of that somebody was saying that he like follows like
children.
like yeah, something like that. I don't know. He kind of has like the God. You know what's crazy? If I were to picture like what a pedophile looks like, I do end up picturing like just exactly that guy, right? Like that just is like that guy's like the archetypical pedophile. Like I don't know. He has like this grungy like beard, and he has like the balding top. Like I don't know.
It genuinely looks like the Prophet if he was alive today.
That's crazy. What am I doing? I'm where the flip? Oh, okay, right. It's this one. Of course, it's this one. Wait 1 sec. Sorry, I gotta get something situated. Okay. Yeah, 1 sec. I guess I will make the live goal. Give me just a sec. The fuck do I want to do? I don't know. Maybe we'll do this one. Maybe we'll do that one. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah, let me keep on reading some supers. Constantine, thanks so much for the super chat. G.H. Hardy and Wilhelm Weinberg are quiet crying. I don't know who either of those guys are, which by the way means that they didn't exist. Finda Gamer, thanks so much for the tier 1 resubscription on Twitch. Been subbed for 5 months. It's been 5 months already. Thank you so much for the content. Whoa. Golden Butterfly Nursery, thank you so much. Appreciate that. That is so cool. I appreciate you. Let's get a big W. Thank you, bot. Thanks so much for the sorry, and it's not thank you, bot. Atheist Cat 420, thanks so much for the gifted host 1 summer of live. Appreciate you. Horace, guys, hard agree. I think externalism is incoherent. Fucking based. Okay. Hey, if you're in that guest request box, you got to be 18 or older. You must believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I'll also debate you if you're a deist, but I really do draw the line there. I'm like, I will only debate you if you believe that there's like some, I don't know, like transcendent, meaning like not identical to the universe, ultimate being, meaning like everything depends on him. And you think that this like transcendent ultimate being has a mind. You know, if you don't believe that, then I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with your belief system. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with like idealism. I don't necessarily disagree with like even like pantheism, maybe. I don't know.
Do you have a specific argument that you cannot answer?
From like religioids?
Yes. Anything that it's not like it doesn't convince you of a god, but you cannot refute it, or
so
you know what I mean?
Well, one sort of like class of arguments that I struggle with and kind of have to like weasel my way around. There are like a lot of like Catholic miracle claims where there's like these like sketchy documents from like the 1800s, and I just have no idea what to say. So usually what I end up saying is that the Catholic God can't be like a causal agent or something like that. So you kind of have to like skirt around the debate. I only know like there's
I
for,
saw you doing that last time
yeah, for like the vast
when you were
majority
talking
of like
about the Fatima.
yeah. But even that one's the one that I know like a little bit about. But like I genuinely think that if somebody wanted to, they could probably spend like a month researching into just one Catholic miracle, and then like they would just know way more about that miracle than I would. So I don't know. I'd be at like a huge disadvantage if they wanted to, but you know,
Fair enough.
yeah. But I mean, it's so hard to verify like all of that stuff. Like I just don't know how much value or like weight I'm supposed to put on like medical documents from like the 1800s, right? Like I
The
just
thing is,
don't.
he didn't even provide any. And what I was gonna point out last time, I'm not too even sure about this, but like, was the sun directly overhead when they were looking at it?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because if it's on the horizon and you're looking at the sun, there's no damage. If
Really?
you ever looked at a sun, yeah, like have you not seen a sunset? You can look directly at the sun.
Oh wait, would it have been like late? Or so you're
Like,
saying if it's like late or early, that's when?
Yeah, like if it's closer, the closer the sun is to the horizon, the less like the same idea of like how winter and summer happens, that the same light is spread over a larger area, so it causes less like concentration of light and less energy hitting your eye.
Yeah.
So when you look at a sunset, you can look at a sunset safely without your eyes burning. But if you look at a directly perpendicular sun, your eyes are gonna burn.
Yeah, this one happened at like 1:30 p.m. So this one's like pretty straight up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, okay, so there are other miracles where people see similar things staring at the sun, and they're more recent. So these people got medically examined, and it turns out that they all have eye damage. So it just seems plausible, like a similar thing could have happened with the other like group at Fatima, that they're just like seeing like the effects of eye damage, and then like their pain sensitivity is being reduced by the fact that they think they're seeing fucking Mary, right?
And you cannot even verify that they looked for 10 minutes. And you don't have any of their actual like accounts saying that they had no damage.
Yeah. But anyway, hey, if you're in that Guest Request blog, I think I already laid all of that stuff out. All right, let's go to the very next guest. I'll try to go in order. I'll try to get to as many of you as I can. Hey, how's it going?
Bro, finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
How old are you?
All right, okay.
Oh, gross. That's disgusting. God damn. I don't know, man. Come back like later or something. Hey, how's it going? This can't be happening. Okay, if this person wants to come back up, that's fine. Hey, how's it going?
Bro,
Yeah.
you know I want to come back up, bro. You
Yeah.
act like you heard me blowing up the
Whoa.
toilet or something, bro. All I did is flush.
Well, it's kind of weird. Feels intimate. Feels uncomfortable. You know.
Okay, so
I certainly don't want to
if
be there.
you
But whoa,
think me
wait.
pooping is
whoa,
intimate,
Whoa.
then
Whoa.
you obviously shouldn't be on this live.
Whoa.
All right, we can debate God.
whoa.
Come on.
Let's
Come
just
on.
calm down there. How old are you?
Okay, I'm 18. I just turned 18.
Yeah, and what religion?
Religion? I don't have a necessary religion.
Do you have like a contingent religion?
Nah, I just know that God is real.
Okay, yeah. What makes you think that God exists?
So obviously nothing can come from nothing. And when I hear you say that you believe that the universe was always just there, that doesn't really make sense. You're just
Don't you
You're
think
not
God was
giving any
always
proof.
there?
because he has been, bro. He's the creator.
Okay, why can't we just say the same thing about the
creator.
universe?
Because the universe isn't the creator.
Okay, but why couldn't it just be the universe that has always existed? Like, okay, think
Bro,
about it
you're
like
just
this.
asking.
Let's just
You're
count the
just
number of
asking.
things.
You're not
So
using any
you
proof.
think that there's a universe that began to exist and it was produced by a god that always existed. Why not just take out the middleman, take out one of these two things, and then just say there's a universe that always existed? Like, what's the
Because
problem
that
with
doesn't
that?
add genuine proof. I'm saying that
Neither does
the
saying God always
creator-
existed, right?
he is the creator, meaning that he is the embodiment of everything, bro. Okay,
He's the
He
embodiment
made
of everything.
He
You
is
don't
the
you don't want to say
embodiment
that
of everything.
this is like a basic blunder. You don't want to say that God's the embodiment of everything.
Okay, I'm saying,
Otherwise,
but
you're
you
going
don't
to end
have
up
any real
saying that
proof
God
or
is like
any
the
facts on
embodiment
it.
of genocide. Do you think God's the embodiment of genocide?
He is the embodiment of everything.
So he is the embodiment of genocide.
Embodiment of everything. God is the creator. He is in everything.
Okay, but is he the embodiment of genocide?
He is in everything.
Is
So
he the
yes,
Oh, sure.
he
Well, it sounds
himself
like God is
in
like
everything.
sounds like
God
God
is
is
in
sick as
everything.
fuck. Is God identical to
How is-
everything?
Okay, but how is it not sick of fuck that you're over here? How okay, can you give me an actual claim on how God isn't real?
Sure. I mean, I can just give you an argument for why the universe always existed. You know, in order for time to begin to exist, there would need to be a change, right? You'd have this timeless state and then it would change to a temporal state. But all change requires time. So in order for time to come into existence, time would already need to exist, which is a contradiction. You can't have like time before time exists. So therefore, time must have always existed. So God can't be the creator of it.
Are you dead ass?
Yeah.
Are you being dead ass, bro?
Yeah. What's your
That doesn't
rebuttal?
even make sense.
Okay, Spawn killed. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, how can literally anything come about if it wasn't created?
Lots of
How
things
could
come
anything
about
come
via
about if anything
laws of
wasn't created?
nature, and I don't even think that time came about. I think
Hey.
it always existed. That's kind of the point of the
How-
argument.
Okay, is there anything that there is about that wasn't created?
Is there anything? Wait, sorry. What's that question again?
Is there anything in this world that wasn't created?
It depends how loose you're asking about creation. If by creation you mean like something that was created by a mind, then yeah, there are tons of things that weren't created by a mind. But if you're asking like, are there things
Okay,
in the
can you name
world
some
that
things
aren't like
that weren't created?
caused?
Wait,
Is
can
that
you name
well?
some
Wait,
things
we
that
need to
weren't
disambiguate your ambiguous question.
It's not ambiguous. It's an easy question to answer, honestly.
I just want clarification. Are you asking like created like by a mind, or are you asking like created like caused?
No, okay. I just want to know: is there anything
he's not
in
gonna
this
answer the
world that wasn't
question.
created? Wasn't created.
Sure. Yeah. Let's say because you don't want to disambiguate the question. Let's say yeah, trees aren't created.
Yes,
You know,
they
there's
are.
no mind that produced them.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. What's the
How are
evidence that a
trees not
mind produced
created?
them? Go ahead.
How are trees not created?
Yeah, because
They
we
are
have no
created
reason to
from
think that a
Mother
mind
Nature,
produced. Whoa.
which
Oh,
Mother
sure. So
Nature
then you could have
is
clarified this
created.
earlier. So by creation, you don't mean by a mind. You just mean like something like caused.
Okay, but things
Then-
are created
Sure.
from
Then the
other
example
things.
that I'll use is
So
time.
God created that thing for that thing
Prove
to
it.
be able to
Yeah.
create
What's the
other
evidence
things to
of
come
that?
about.
What's the evidence of that?
Because nothing can come from nothing. It's
I
impossible.
agree. But what if there was
factually
always
impossible.
something? What if there was
It's
always a
science.
universe that was changing?
It's science.
It's not
It's
science.
factually impossible.
You're
It's
an
factually
idiot.
impossible for anything to come from nothing.
Oh,
It's literally
I
science.
agree,
Look
but
it
that's
up.
like a metaphysical principle. You're like
Look
deeply
it up. It's
confused.
science.
That's not
Look it up. It's
science.
science. It's not
That's
a
not
principle.
science.
It's
That's
nothing. It's
metaphysics.
science.
That's a metaphysical
It's
claim.
science.
That would be
It's
a
actually
metaphysical
science.
claim that claims defend
It's
by.
science.
Yeah, wait, what field? Which field of science defends that claim?
It doesn't need to be a
Fucking
certain field
Spawn
of
killed
science.
again,
It's
dude.
science, bro.
Genuinely
It's
brutal.
science.
I'll tell you the field of
Science.
philosophy that makes that claim. That would be a
Bro,
metaphysical
it
claim.
is science. Nothing can
Okay.
come from nothing.
Wow,
You can't
he
prove it.
he thinks like the killer argument is to just like pound his hand on the table and say nothing can't come from nothing. Nothing can't come from nothing.
Okay,
You can
but
add
you're
like
not
100
making an
table pounds.
argument
It won't
that's
make the argument
making
any better,
what I'm
right? It's like a
saying
dog
any
shit
less.
argument. And nobody disagrees
How
with
is it
that.
a dog shit argument when you
I
can't even
agree that
answer, bro?
nothing can come from nothing. I think there was always something.
Exactly.
Let's
So
put
how
on
can
our
nothing come
tracking
from nothing if
goggles
there
and try to
wasn't
track
something
the
that created the
conversation.
things that create?
The point is like frankly very simple. I think that the
Yeah, it
universe
is pretty
always
simple actually. That
existed.
God is
Oh my
real.
God,
I
this
don't know
dude
why
is
you
like
have
brain
this goofy
dead.
ass thing on your fucking live, bro.
Whoa, he's like
God isn't
crashing
real.
out, brain dead,
You
can't
sound
engage
stupid,
at
nigga.
all. This is,
Okay,
like,
but
really
all of your
sad.
claims don't make any sense.
Okay, they probably don't make sense to you, and it's because you have like
Bro, they make sense to all these
I don't know.
retards that you have
Oof.
following.
Wow, I just don't know if I'd be calling anybody else that word. The debate performance that you just gave, right? Like, I just don't think that you're in a position to be talking about
Okay,
other
can you
people's
give me a real
intelligence.
debate then? Can you give me a
Yeah,
real
I gave you
debate
a
on why
real
God is real?
argument, and you literally wouldn't even engage with it.
That was the dumbest argument ever.
Oh, I know you can cry about it. Do you have like a
Like,
real
how does that
rebuttal?
make sense? Your
That's the
argument
dumbest
made no
argument
sense.
ever. Isn't a rebuttal.
How did your argument make sense?
How did the argument make sense? Do you want me to like formalize
How can
it for
anything
you?
come from nothing?
I don't think that something came from nothing. Here's the formalization.
Okay, but you're saying that
Whoa,
nothing.
oh sure, he's
No, you're
gonna
saying
short circuit
that
more.
since
Fine.
nothing. You're saying that you believe
Okay,
that. But you're
if
saying that
time
where did
began
time come
to exist, then a
If time began to
temporal
exist from
state,
nothing, how does
or
that make
sorry, wait,
sense?
then an
How can time begin to
a
exist from nothing?
temporal state would change into a temporal state. if a change occurs,
If
then
time began
time
to exist in a
must
temporal
already
state, which
exist.
changed into a temporal state.
Or
What
sorry,
does that
maybe
even mean? Yo, can you elaborate that first
would
one right
change
there?
into a temporal
What does that mean?
state. All change occurs.
What does that first sentence mean, bro?
Maybe I want to say if a change happens, then it happens
Exactly,
in
bro.
time.
Can you say something?
Therefore,
Yo, Ems, can you
from
try
one
and
and
let me
two-
know what the first sentence means, bro? What does that mean?
the first sentence is not where you should be getting tripped up, by the way. It's like painfully straightforward. If time began
does
to
that make
exist,
sense?
then an atemporal state would change into a temporal state. Do you know what
How can
atemporal
something
means?
change into itself, bro?
Wait, sorry. You think that
It doesn't.
atemporal is the same as temporal? You think atemporal and temporal are the same thing?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't read a temple.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. More of an auditory learner, it seems.
Okay, I just want to know, how could time come from nothing? You're just saying it began to exist.
Then
You're
it
just saying
would
stuff is beginning to exist. How could something
in time?
How come something exist
Time
if it wasn't
cannot
created just like
begin
it?
to exist.
It can't just pop into the air.
Within
He's saying the opposite.
time.
So please track.
Time did not begin to exist. Yep, there you go. So which of these premises would you reject?
If time began to exist in an intemporal state, would change into a temporal state. If a change happens, and nigga. Okay, can you elaborate the third one to me?
Yeah, the third one. So okay, we have it. If time began
to
to change, then there'd be a change within, or sorry, if time began to exist, there'd be like a change in reality. But all changes happen within time. So if time began to exist, that would happen within time.
You're literally just saying time is going to exist inside. That doesn't even make sense.
I
How
agree,
could
it doesn't
something
make
exist
sense. It
inside
can't.
of itself?
Yes, exactly. That is
It's not possible.
literally, that is
You're
genuinely the
literally- that's
exact
not
thrust
possible.
of the argument. I agree
That's
with
not
you. It's
possible.
not possible. That is my exact fucking point. You like impaled
Exactly.
yourself on
You're
the
giving
point.
me impossible
Ooh,
states.
sorry,
That
wait,
doesn't
that's-
even make
that is-
sense.
that's
It's
the
not
fourth premise,
possible,
by the
meaning
way.
it's not true.
That's the fourth premise, that
It's
time cannot
impossible,
begin
meaning
to
it's not
exist
true.
within time.
If something
Yes.
is not possible,
Yes, it
you
means
can't
that
give
yes,
it a
if the
statement. Say it's not true.
consequent, if we have like an if-then statement and the then part of it is impossible, it means the if part of it is also impossible, right?
Bro, it literally says right
Right?
there, time cannot exist within time.
Yes, that's my exact point. Yeah.
Okay, but you just said that it could.
No.
You said
the
if time
opposite.
was.
Okay. Let me break this down for you. If 2 plus 2 could be 5,
Could
then
be,
2
not
plus
factually.
3 could be 6.
But 2 plus 2 can't be 5.
Exactly. That's my exact fucking point. Yes, you get it.
Exactly. So you're giving me
Yeah,
unfactual
2
states.
plus
So let
3
me know how God
cannot
isn't real.
be 6. Therefore, 2 plus 2 cannot be 5. So we have.
So you're trying to say
Wait,
that
wait.
what I'm saying
You should
like
just
that.
calm
So
down.
I'm saying that
You've
time
done a lot
isn't
of
real, so
embarrassing
you can say that
yourself.
God isn't real.
You've done a lot of embarrassing yourself. What might help
How?
you salvage your reputation is calming down so I can explain basic logic to you. When we have
Bro,
an
how is that
if
basic logic? There's no
then
logic behind this
statement,
answer.
it's called modus tollens. If we have an if then statement and the then part of it, the second part after the then is impossible, that 2 plus 3 cannot be 6, then it means the part on the if must also be impossible.
Okay, can you give me a real statement on why God isn't real then?
Yeah, it's right in front of you that time did not begin to exist.
Time. Okay, so back to this question: how could anything be created from nothing?
I don't think that time was created from nothing. You can ask the question 20 times. The answer is
Okay,
not
so
going to
what was it
change.
created from?
What's going to
What was it
happen
created
every
from?
single
What
time you
was it
answer the
created from?
question, you're just going to
What was it
look
created from?
stupider and stupider. I don't think
Answer
time
the
was
question. What
created.
was
I
it
think it
created
always
from then?
existed. I just
Answer-
explained
it
this
always-
to you.
Something can't always exist.
Ooh,
This is not
fuck.
how-
Oh, that's
It's
brutal.
not-
That's the infinity blunder, dude.
Like,
Something
dog, how can
cannot
something exist from
always
nothing?
exist. If God exists, then he always existed. Therefore,
the
God
creator.
does
He
not
was
exist.
here first.
That's the fucking
Are
infinity
you
blunder.
stupid? He
You just
was the creator.
disproved
He was
God.
here
That's
first.
brutal. Wait, sorry. Which
He
premise?
was
wait,
before
wait,
everything.
Sorry, wait,
He came
sorry,
before
wait,
everything.
sorry,
What are
whoa,
you talking about?
let's put a cork on that
He
crash
is
out.
the creator.
Whoa, let's just calm down there. Which premise here would you reject? Would you reject premise 1 or premise 2? We got
Something
we got
cannot
what you just
always
said, that something cannot always exist, and premise 2, if God exists, then he always
except for
existed.
God, because he
Oh
goes past
shit!
those
So
bounds.
you do reject the
He
thing
goes
that you
past those
just
bounds.
said.
It is God.
So you do
It is
reject
all
the
in
thing
the
that you
Bible,
just
bro.
said.
Read the
Gotcha.
Bible.
That's brutal. That's devastating. I thought you didn't hold to a religion.
Like, what are you talking
It's
about?
crazy how, you know, people don't hold to religions until they get like rooted out in their position.
You are making no right statements, bro. All the people that are following you just want to be different, bro. None of them are actually making
Rape
actual
is bad.
good statements. All of these make no sense.
You think saying rape is bad makes no sense? That's kind of gross.
Okay, but what does rape have to do with God?
I'm sorry, that was mean.
What does rape have to do with God?
For example, do you think God has the power to make humans who, by their very essence, won't rape?
What does raping have to do with God? You're acting like God is telling people to rape people.
No, I didn't say
God
that.
gives people. Okay, exactly. So God sends people
Do you
to
think
this
the world
earth
would be a better
to
place
do what
if
they
rape
want to
never
do.
occurred?
Say that again, please.
Do you think the world would be a better place if rape never occurred?
Obviously, that's like
Okay. Do you
there's
think
a lot
God
of
made?
things that
you
Earth
think-
would be a better place if they didn't occur.
Do you think God made the best possible timeline?
No, we didn't make the. You can't really say that because of the minds and stuff that he gave
Oh,
us.
well then that's really easy. Then God's not all good. If God
Okay,
didn't do the most
did I
good
say?
action,
Did
then
I
he's
say he
not all
was?
good.
Did I say he was?
You said
Did I say
that
he
you
was?
believe in the Bible, and the Bible says that everything God does is righteous.
Because God does everything for a reason, bro.
Okay, so you do agree that he's all good then?
I don't believe that he's all good, but
Do you reject
it's
the
not.
Bible?
Okay, but he does not bring the good from us, bro. Like we could either choose to be good. He gives us the choice.
Okay, let
He
me.
sends us down here. He sends us down here. Okay, if that person decides that's what's in their mind, they want to rape someone, they get pleasure off of that. God gave them to the mind to have free will. They can choose what they want to do. You can't put the subject rape on God because God did not send us down here to rape other people.
Okay, so I'm gonna read you some Bible verses because it's clear you've never done that. So, okay, Psalm 145:9. The Lord is good to all, and His compassion is over all that He has made. Do you reject that verse?
No.
Okay, so then you agree that God's all good?
Yes. Okay, then yeah, I could say that.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, He can't be all good if He didn't create the most good world. Otherwise, there would be a more good God, the one that did create the most good world.
Okay, like why? Okay, everyone says that, bro. Why didn't God give me the best things possible?
It's not what the argument
That is literally what you're saying, bro.
That is
Why
literally
didn't God
not what I'm
make the earth
saying.
the best earth possible? Why didn't
Why
God make this
isn't
best
God
thing
giving
possible?
me a Sophie
Because
flip
that's
job
how
right
fucking
now?
life is, nigga.
Okay.
That's how.
On to the next one. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with the friends, doing all that good stuff.
Did you see his comments before he came up?
Yeah, he was like really crashing the fuck out. I don't know. A lot of Philosopher LARPers need to get
And
like.
he was calling the previous guest a child, and he's 18.
Yeah. God, that's I just don't think. I just do not think that I'd be insulting other people's intelligence after debate performances like the previous ones. It's like a surefire sign that you're gonna be like dumber is when you come on and say, "Wow, those last guys were really dumb."
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. That will go to the very next guest. Oh, my stream title, it's gone? What? Huh? Hey,
Hey,
how's
brother.
it going?
Hey, it's going pretty great.
Yeah, how old are
How
you?
about- I'm 25.
Yep. What religion?
So I believe in Jesus, but I would say I personally do not go along with many of the things that Christians say. So
Like what?
I didn't really experience Jesus until I was overdosing off of fentanyl overdose.
Oh,
in
wait.
Hollywood.
Sorry, you like super for sure can't come on here and just like name drop things like that. Like 30 seconds into the conversation, you know, that's more of like an hour into the conversation topic, right? I don't know. It makes me think that you're trolling and that you're trying to get like the live restricted.
And with the profile picture too.
Yeah.
But I too mentioned my overdose to people I just met 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Okay, I won't even do like the example of it, but could you imagine like somebody comes in and they just like construct a sentence where they name drop successively like the names of like 13 substances in like one single sentence. Like, come on, like what the fuck are we doing? Was I born yesterday? Hey, how's it
Hey.
going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 51.
Yep. What religion
Okay.
are you?
I'm Catholic.
Yeah. What makes you think that God exists?
Mostly personal experience,
Well,
which I find in prayer.
I'm not. I think personal experience, it's like kind of hard to accept that as being like very good evidence because obviously like anyone can lie to anyone about anything that happened in their personal life.
You're right.
But
Yeah.
are you very knowledgeable about like Catholic doctrine? Otherwise, I could give you like, I have like innumerable problems with Catholic doctrine.
Okay, sure.
But we could talk.
Go
I just
ahead.
want to make sure we don't have to talk about that. I just want to make sure if we do talk about it, are you familiar with like a good amount of Catholic theology?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I actually wanted to become a priest when I was a kid.
Oh,
And
sure.
I went, yeah, and I went into I don't know what's that. My first language is not English, as you can know by my accent. So I went in a home for boys with Franciscan monks, and I've been there for some years.
We might.
But
I think we
then
should call that
eventually-
Catholic school. Although I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's like Catholic school. Yeah, right.
Sure. So, was there anything? Is there like some sort of like substantive reason to think that God exists?
Yeah, I think that I think you had some interesting conversation topics when you were talking about suffering, particularly animal suffering,
Yeah.
and also the universe thing, that you believe the universe has always been there.
Yeah.
And can you explain to me what you mean by that?
By the universe has always been there.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to cash it out in like any further terms, but okay, let's say that there are different like realities in different states, and then it changes into like new states. Like that's kind of how time works, right? It's in one state, and then this one state changes into a new state. So
Right.
what I'm saying is that if you laid out like all of the states, there would just always be a universe there.
In just a different state, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
So you don't
there
you don't
could
necessarily
alternatively-
negate the Big Bang Theory, or do you?
I think the Big Bang Theory is true. I just don't think that it says that the universe began to exist.
No, it doesn't. Actually, no. It just says that it was a hot and dense place for 13.8 billion years, and then it expanded, cooled off, and galaxies were developing, and that's basically what we now see as the universe, right?
Yeah, sure. That sounds
Yeah.
about right to me. Yeah,
So,
but
and
I just think
I
that, yeah,
see.
go for it.
So, sorry, I see perfection in that. Right.
In the Big Bang?
In the universe itself, right? And I don't know if you know about the 10% theory about the Earth. Like if we were 10% closer to the sun, we would all burn to death. If we were 10% further away from the sun, we would all freeze to death. If the Earth would move 10% faster, we would also burn. Or if it was moving 10% slower,
Ooh.
we would also freeze.
I
You can look it up.
don't. So what you're saying about distances might be true, but if what you're saying about like the distance from the sun is true, it's only because like 10% closer to the sun is like hundreds of millions of miles or something.
Right.
But I have
It is like 7 million miles.
yeah, I don't have any reason to wait. It's how many million? Like, let me.
Like 7 point something million miles. Because
Oh,
the Earth is like 70
that-
something million miles away
yeah.
and 150 something million kilometers away.
Okay, wait. Then I think that we could, and in fact, do get that much closer.
And no, we get around like 3 million kilometers closer further away, which is like a range of 6 million. a year, which is gonna be like 4%, I guess.
Lux zone. We were looking this up the other day. What is like? It's like what 1.7
Yeah,
AU?
this is how much we can get closer, but the Goldilocks zone is bigger. It extends all the way to Mars. So
Oh, sure. Well, then, yeah. I mean, just based on the rough approximations, it seems like in fact we could get way closer. We could
and
do
way
like the
further.
exact
Way more further.
calculations. Yeah.
Just look at where Mars is away from the sun and then subtract from it 1 AU, which is like 150 million miles or kilometers, and you would see how much more you can go further away.
Oh, this is like a great system. Apparently 1 AU just is the average distance between the sun and the earth.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, so
Right.
then actually you could get way more than 10% farther or closer away. Because you could the Goldilocks zone, so we're 1 AU away from the sun. The Goldilocks zone is like 1.7.
So 70% more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're somewhere in that range already, but yeah, it's like there's quite a bit of wiggle there.
And even if there wasn't, 10% is quite substantial.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that there's like interesting, like, I think when you dig into the data, when you dig into the facts, there is like genuinely interesting instances of fine tuning in the universe. I just don't think that these are going to be the instances that have anything to do with like the distance of the sun and the earth and, you know, like the stars or whatever. I think it's going to have to do much more with things like physical constants. I think that's going to be where there might be like an argument waiting to be made for God's existence. But I think all of this stuff, it just turns out to be like either easily explainable or like, you know, not true.
Yeah.
But we
Okay.
could speak like a bit more. You said that you think that the universe is perfect. You mentioned animal suffering earlier. That's one of the things that I find to be like uniquely not perfect is that there is just
Yeah.
like horrific stuff in nature, and it seems like there definitely didn't need to be. You know,
Yeah.
I think that if I were to walk by the street and like see someone like beating a dog, I would think that there is something very wrong.
I have
with
2
you.
dogs. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to stand it. So
Yeah, it's horrifying.
yeah.
But like that's
Yeah.
kind of what's going on in nature, like all the time, constantly. Like way worse
True.
than that, even.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, and it's one of the difficult questions, really. Like, especially for me, because I don't necessarily agree with. Look, one of my dog died from bone cancer,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
it was devastating for me. Yeah, it was really bad. And what I noticed is that my Christian community didn't give a fuck about it.
Hmm.
They said it was just an animal, right?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think I had a really good relationship with my dog, and it's something I personally don't understand, and I think that's something that nobody can claim. Whether like all the people that believe in God, nobody can claim that they understand God.
Yeah.
So and neither do I. So
Yeah.
I really don't have a good answer for that. I'm trying to be a vegan, which means I don't eat any animal products. Unfortunately, though, I still have like pairs of shoes that have parts of leather on them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I try to stay away from making animals suffer myself.
Yeah. I'm vegan too, actually, for that exact reason. You know, I really do like the taste of meat, but I try whenever it's possible to avoid it. I try to avoid it because I think that it's like deeply unethical. It sounds like we probably agree about that.
Yeah, we do. Right. And also, you were talking about Neanderthals before.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 70,000 years ago, the original modern humans left Africa and then interbred with Neanderthals. And nowadays, non-African population has about 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, that's roughly my understanding of it too. Although I don't know if it makes sense to say that Neanderthal is like one of the species that we came from. But
No, it makes no
y-
sense. No,
yeah.
'cause yeah.
Yeah, that's roughly my understanding of it as well. Yeah. But is there
Mm.
listen, you seem like a super pleasant person, but for the sake of the audience, is there something that we like disagree on? Otherwise, I'm just gonna tell you that I hope you have a great day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we basically disagree on the fact that whether God exists or not, right?
Sure.
And I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I personally, and I think that's also not what the Catholic Church teaches. Is you don't have to believe in God, right? There's nobody that can force you to do that. And neither will I, right? I will most likely not be able to convince you. So I'm pretty fine with that. And I also don't think that I personally believe in heaven, right? I believe in all these things. And I
Mhm.
believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he died for our sins.
Yeah.
And I also
But
believe that
wait, sorry.
everybody has a chance to go to heaven, whether they believe in God or not.
Well, yeah, I hear you. What is there any like evidence for that? Like, I know that that's what you believe, but what makes you believe that? Is
Well,
there something that
there's
convinces you that
definitely
that's
evidence
true?
for the existence of Jesus, right?
Oh, I agree with that. I think that Jesus was like a real historical figure who then got crucified by the Romans. But, there were lots of people who got crucified by the Romans. And there were also a lot of people
Mhm.
claiming to be the Jewish Messiah. For example, I think Josephus recounts some dude that was just called the Egyptian, who claimed to be the Jewish Messiah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the Catholic doctrine. We believe that Jesus Christ was the Messiah,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously, I can only read the Bible and understand what it says there,
Mhm.
and then it's hard to argue with somebody who really wants to reject this, right?
Mm.
I think you would have to, on some point, maybe have a personal experience that makes you believe otherwise, and I know you don't like the idea because it could all be lies, right?
So
But
there's probably something to be said, which is that well, first of all, I'm not opposed to believing in God. I'm not convinced that he exists, and in fact I think that a lot of the versions that are proposed, there's like good reason to think don't exist. Like we were discussing earlier, like the problem of evil, all the animal suffering is like really strange if there's like an all-loving God that designed all of this. It just seems like an all-loving God might design it differently. And I know you're saying that God has his reasons, but nevertheless, it's like still pretty unexpected. But you know, it's I'm not like opposed to a God existing. I just don't think that there is one. And if the only way to arrive at a belief in God is through a personal experience, then it just seems like what God would be doing is giving everyone a personal experience.
well, maybe he will on some point.
Yeah, I mean that would be great, but it just doesn't seem like that happens. Seems like lots of people die without them.
No, you would have to reach out.
Mm. Yep, but
think.
That's kind of strange, right? I mean, by this logic, then I should reach out to Allah in Islam and then see if Allah responds. But I would imagine like you've probably never done that. It seems like in order to have a relationship with someone, if what God wants with me is a relationship, I need to know that he exists. After I know that God exists, I can then choose for myself whether I want the relationship, which I probably will. He's the creator of the universe. That's pretty cool. But, if I don't know that he exists, I can't possibly form a relationship with him. I couldn't have a friend if I don't know the friend exists. I can't have a girlfriend if I don't know the girlfriend exists. You kind of need to know that the other
Right.
person exists in order to even make the decision to form the relationship with them in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that point. Yeah, it's difficult to explain. I personally like, but this could be nice. Obviously, everybody could tell you some story about that, but I personally feel a connection to God, especially when I do pray and or meditate, or and I feel like also that because after I'm going to tell you a little bit the story, right? After I left that school, I pretty much also left my belief in God,
Mm.
right? And then on some point in my life, I came back to God and believing in God, and it has changed my life completely, right? It has changed my life for the better. So
So
and
I think that might be compelling to you, but I mean, my life is pretty good right now. I don't need my life to get like radically changed. You know, if God exists and I'm convinced that God exists, then I'll obviously change my mind about it. But I'm going to arrive at that. I think one of the things that's made my life so good is that I'm so interested in like pursuing the truth, which causes me to read a ton. I don't know, like that's one of the things that I get the most joy out of in my life. It's like one of the things that I bond over with my girlfriend. We both enjoy like trying to figure the world out. I think if I were to give that up and instead just like blindly have faith in God, I think that would substantially decrease the quality of my life. But
I don't think that the two things don't necessarily work together. I mean, like they don't necessarily disagree. Like I also read a lot of things, and I'm interested in science, and I'm interested in space exploration, and I'm interested in a lot of things, the human history, the history of our universe in general. So, and I don't disagree with science. I actually find that a lot of things that I read prove to me that there is a system behind it that somehow works. And I heard the other day an argument like, well, God could also create life in a completely different universe, right? Or even
True.
if our planet was completely frozen, because God is almighty, he would also be able to create life there. Why doesn't he do that? Well,
That's
I don't
probably
know.
true.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just that would mean that I understand God, and nobody does. Nobody can claim that.
Yeah.
Even the best scholars, and they can't claim that they really understand God, because we assume God is almighty and all wisdom and powerful, and on a level that is way above human beings, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, like I agree, right? Like God is gonna have these unique features to him that he's gonna, but I guess I just come away with the opposite. Do you have like a piece of evidence that makes you think that God exists? Because typically when I read more, I come away with the impression that God doesn't exist. Like the more that I find out about like, I don't know, for example, the human body, it just seems like there's so many design flaws. And same thing with like a lot
really,
of creatures. Yeah, like
the
kidney
human
stones,
brain
for
is the
example.
most complex thing we know in the universe.
And it has tons of design flaws. It's riddled with cognitive biases. Your brain causes you to hold on to beliefs that you already have. You don't update your beliefs to be in line with the evidence. Your brain kind of just stops evaluating new evidence. You're more inclined to believe things if you heard it more recently. Like the brain is just full of these cognitive biases, like tons of design flaws. And evolution explains that, because all these things are good for evolutionary purposes, but it's like really bad in terms of like trying to find truth.
Huh. Okay, I was never considering the human brain to be. I mean, obviously there is all kinds of issues, but yeah, it also makes life more interesting. I even feel like bad times in your life, right? Why isn't everything perfect? Or the question why there is suffering at all. For me, as a Christian, we believe that we share the suffering with Jesus Christ, right? We deliver our suffering to God because Jesus Christ suffered for us, right? And And so,
But
honestly,
I
I've
mean,
been
like,
going
what?
through some really hard times in my life. I don't
Oh,
want
I'm
to go into any
sorry.
details, but it kind of helps me to to understand that Jesus suffered much more,
Mm.
right? And there is other people that suffer more than I do.
Yeah, like Germany
And
fans.
yeah.
No, no, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sure what you're going through is really difficult.
Well, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm not in a particularly bad position right now. Actually, right now my life is really good. I just bought a flat. I have a good job as a teacher. I can't complain, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
Well,
I don't have many more arguments for you, to be honest. So if you want to drop me off,
yep.
you
Well,
can.
hey, I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. It was great to talk to you. I don't know. You're a great guy. I hope things get better for you. I'm sure they will. You know, I'm sure you have a lot of great friends. You have a wonderful personality. I hope you have a great day. Wow, that guy was
I
great.
didn't know you watch soccer.
I don't. But my girlfriend fills me in on all the lore. My girlfriend and coworkers tell me about all the lore.
That
Yeah.
was a good reference.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's one thing that they kind of, you know, the council of people in my life who watch soccer all agree on is that Germany is like totally fucking washed. It's never been more over for Germany than it is right now.
They lost to the equivalence of like a college team. So
Holy shit. Yeah. Do you think the United States getting their player reinstated, do you think that's bullshit?
say that again.
Do you think like the United States getting their player reinstated is bullshit?
They already did.
Yeah, no, I know they did, but do you think that's bullshit?
I mean, apparently it hasn't happened in like 60 years. So.
Oh, that is strange, right? Like it is.
And when it happened, it didn't happen because a president called them.
Yeah,
It happened
right.
because
Yeah.
Trump called them.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't watch soccer, but I did see the red card, and it seems like I don't know if that's what they're giving people red cards for. Then this is a soft ass sport, frankly.
You're not supposed to like be hitting them or beating anybody. So
Yeah. All right, let's read some supers. Arflu, thanks so much for the super chat. Do you think that an omniscient God could make a random choice? Okay, I've thought about this. I think they have to say no. I think they need to say no. I don't think that there's anything in the worldview that could actually do that. I think that they're like locked into no. I know that's kind of weird, but like I just don't think that. I think that if I were a theist and you asked me, can God make like a random number of M&Ms appear? I think that they would have to say no, because there's nothing that could determine that. And also, like, he'd be all knowing, like he'd already know the answer. But, you know, of course, that's like The Rock, right? They just say, well, you know, God can't do illogical things. Constantine, thanks so much for the super chat. The fucking Hardy Weinberg principle of evolution. Never heard of him. Thanks so much for the Cool Core membership. Appreciate you. Whoa, thanks so much for the shiny air balloon. Appreciate you. Grimmy, thanks so much for the super chat. Wouldn't time be considered primordial? I don't know what you mean by primordial. I think that it's eternal. Tax the church. Thanks so much for the super chat. What created God? What created God? What created God? God can't come from nothing. Base. Yeah. Keegan Hogan, Dugan Dolgan. Thanks so much for the $2 Canadian dollar, the 2 Canuck bucks. Is Reddit theist a thing? God damn. True. That's funny. I thought there was like an equivalent. It's like no, I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name. It uses all these like fucking Euro characters, right? It has like the little A that's also an E. You know, it has like an H followed by an R. I assume it's pronounced like something similar to that. KMB, thanks so much for the super chat. Just watched your last, whoa, $100 super chat too, no less. That's pretty fucking incredible. Big W. I appreciate the fuck out of that. Thank you so much. Big W. Just watched your last appearance on the line. You were superior at explaining extremely complex theories in such a way that it's digestible for all of us. Thanks for sharing your gift and making us all smarter and inquisitive. I'm so glad to do that. I'm so glad that you feel that way. I don't know. I think it'd be so cool to be, I know they don't exist. Well, they kind of exist. I think Alex O'Connor kind of fits this role, but being like a philosophy communicator would be like pretty cool, I think. I mean, it's probably like way less necessary than like science communicators, you know, way less important issues hang in the balance. But, you know, I do think it's important to have people from fields that communicate how things are going. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at going to grad school. Grimmy, thanks so much for the super chat. A god being real or not doesn't really change the fact that he would be a piece of shit as an individual. Well, for sure what's going to be true is that God, all-powerful, all-knowing, is morally responsible for anything that has ever happened or will ever happen. You know, if I was sitting on my lawn, in my lawn chair, and I see somebody getting like axe murdered across the street, and I say, this will be interesting. And I don't do anything, I'm responsible for that. If you had the power to stop that and you knew about it, you're responsible for that. You know, you have moral responsibility. And there are like some circumstances where, you know, like your kid falls off their bike, but then you haven't like necessarily done anything wrong, because even though you could have given them like the training wheels, like there's like greater goods at play. But what's going to need to be true is that God is morally responsible for all of it, and that somehow he's like vindicated, which seems like super implausible because there are definitely instances of suffering that don't need to be. Kane, thanks so much for the super chat. If anything, Life of Brian proves Brian was the real Messiah, because only a true prophet could be that sick of his own followers. That's funny. Do I think PSR leads to modal collapse? I'm inclined to. I know that there are reformulations. Haven't looked into it too deep. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
Yep. And what religion?
Christianity.
Yeah. What makes you think that God exists?
All right. So I want to ask you a question, because you're the one. You say God isn't real, and I hear that you're asking Christians for evidence. You're really big on evidence and proof. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So I would like to hear. I would like to see your mathematical and scientific evidence that God does not exist.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. The mathematical and scientific evidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get the proof on the board. So we got premise 1. What is it? God is the creator, or sorry, maybe we'll do God is the cause of all things.
So is this scientific, or is this just like your?
This is going to be a philosophical deduction for you.
Oh, it's philosophical. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
If
not
God is the
purely-
cause of
so it's
all,
not
whoa, wait,
objectively
let's
sci-
just, whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
I just want to
whoa,
say
let's
it's
just
not.
calm
It's
down. There's
not
no need to crash
objectively.
out. I haven't
I
even
just
gotten
want.
to
No,
the
I'm
first
not crashing
premise,
out.
and
I'm
you're
just trying
already
to ask a
crashing out.
question.
Holy shit, dude, calm
I'm
down.
just, sir. I'm just asking you a
This is gonna
question.
go really bad
Can
for
I
you
just
if
ask
you're
a
already
question?
crashing out in the first premise.
Sir,
Dude,
can
that's
I
really
ask you
sad.
a question?
So here's what's
Holy
gonna happen
crap,
is I'm gonna type out the premises, then
Sir,
you're gonna
I'm
tell me
just
which one
asking a
is false.
question.
Whoa, just
Okay,
calm
go
down
ahead,
there,
go ahead.
mouth breather. No need for you to get
Keep
this
on.
upset. Yeah.
Go ahead,
God
go
is the
ahead.
cause of
Say
all
what you.
things that are not himself.
Oh my God. So it's not scientific. It's just
Okay,
philosophical.
God.
That's all I'm trying to ask.
If God has parts, then these parts are not himself.
So it's philosophical,
A
guys. It's not
thing
scientific.
cannot be
That's
the
all I wanted to know.
creator of all.
It's based
of
on his own
its
philosophical
parts.
criteria. It's okay.
Therefore, God does not have parts. Would you agree with this, that God lacks
Yeah, I can't see
composition?
the whole thing. I can't see the whole.
What's
you
what's
have
cut off?
parts
Is
of
it cut off on the left or cut off on the right?
On the right.
On the right. Okay, wait. So then from your, does this fix it?
A little bit, but it's like I'm not sure if that's or not. Yeah, okay. God is the cause of all things that are not himself. So is he the cause of all things?
Yeah, presumably if he exists.
All right. So let's go with that first, right? Because we got to go one by one, right? So is
Yeah.
he the cause of all things?
Well,
So
in
let
your
me ask-
worldview,
so-
he would be, wouldn't he?
Would it be the cause of all things?
Yeah.
Well, he created all things. But
Yeah,
let me.
sure. Then
well,
you just agree with the first one straight up.
okay,
right?
so yeah, let's break this down though. Let's break this
Okay,
down though.
okay.
You said that it would be better if God created human beings that would just do what he
Wait,
wants.
are you
correct?
pivoting? Wait, are you running? Are you
No,
sprinting away?
I'm
Wait,
I'm
why are you
sticking
running?
with this.
Why are you scared?
No, I'm
Do
not
you just
running.
want
I'm
to
sticking.
engage
Sir,
with the thing
sir,
that's on the
I'm
notepad? You asked for
sticking
the
with
proof. I
this.
gave you the proof,
Sir,
but the proof was too
I'm
much for
bringing
you.
evidence.
Now you need to
I'm
pivot
building.
away. You need
Sir,
to pivot
I'm
to a
building on my.
conversation
Oh my
that's
God,
other
this
than
guy's
this
crashing
one.
out.
I just
He's
need to
crashing
know
out.
which premise that
I'm
you
building my
reject.
argument.
Whoa, let's just calm
Do
down
you
there,
know
math
what that
grade there.
means?
Whoa, calm
Sir,
down.
I'm building my
You asked
argument.
me for an argument, so I
Sir,
gave you
I'm
one, and
building my
now it
argument. Will
skewered
you
you,
let
so
me
you're
build my
running from it.
argument?
Why are you running from my
Will you
argument?
let me build
Why
my
are you running
argument?
from my argument?
Okay, so you said earlier that it would be better for God
Why are
to
you
create.
pivoting to a different
Sir,
conversation?
can you let me build my argument?
You're pivoting to a previous
Are you gonna let me
conversation.
build my
Holy
argument?
shit.
Yes or no?
Are you going to let me pivot, sir? Are you
Holy
going to
shit,
let me
this guy's
pivot?
not even
Please
letting me.
let me pivot. Are you
Are
going
you
to let
gonna
me
let me
pivot?
build my
Are you going
argument,
to let me
sir?
pivot to a previous conversation,
Audience, do
sir?
you see this
Please let
guy
me
is not letting me
pivot.
build my argument?
Audience, see this guy is trying to pivot to
Holy
the previous
shit, this guy doesn't
conversation.
want me to say.
Holy shit, this guy doesn't want you to pivot to a
Did you
previous
did earlier? Did you
conversation.
say that it would be
Holy
better
shit, yeah,
for
he's
God
like
to
big.
create?
Okay, sure.
Did you
So,
say this?
so I'll grant to you that that
Holy
argument was
shit.
too much for
Did you
Sure.
say that that it would be better for God to create humans that obey Him? Yes or no?
I
Fuck.
didn't say that.
Okay. Did
You're
you say that it would
delusional.
be better for God to create humans that don't do bad things? Correct? Yes or no?
Yeah, that are like essentially
All right.
can't
So
rape. Yeah,
so humans who are always obeying what He says. Yes or no?
that are essentially morally perfect.
Yeah. So they do everything that God wants to do, right?
If what God wants is exclusively the morally perfect things, then yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because you got me yelling. Because all right.
Yeah,
Let me
I know,
let me
it's 'cause
lower
you're
myself.
crashing
Yeah.
the fuck out.
No.
Yeah.
Because I had to yell because you just didn't want to answer my question.
Okay,
Now that
yeah.
you're answering my question, I don't have to yell. Okay. So essentially, you're saying that it's better that God creates creatures that have no free will.
So God doesn't have free will?
God has free
so
will.
being
I'm
essentially
talking
morally
about the
perfect means you
creatures.
have no free will?
I'm
Brutal.
talking
Wait,
about the
you
creatures.
you actually just debunked your own God. That
I'm
was brutal.
talking about
That
the
was so
creatures.
devastating, dude.
Are
Wait,
you
let me
tracking?
break this down for you.
Are you
If
tracking?
something is essentially morally perfect,
Sir, I'm talking about the creatures having free will. I
then
know God
it
has free
doesn't
will.
have free
I'm
will?
talking about the creatures. Are you tracking?
Wait, are you saying that something being essentially morally perfect means that they don't? It doesn't have free will?
Yeah,
God
yes,
is.
yeah, no, yes.
Oh, brutal.
You're
Therefore,
saying,
God does
you're
not
saying
have
that he
free
needs to create
will.
puppets.
Oh,
Is this
that's
what it is?
brutal. That's so sad, dude.
Sir, you're
That was like
saying
the
they
infinity blunder.
this guy's a child.
So wait, just to
This guy's a
clarify, you would agree that God
This
doesn't
guy's
have
a
free
child.
will?
Sir,
If
can
I'm a
you let
child,
me
then
speak?
you got
You're just
completely
this
torn
guy
in
is just
half
not
by a
letting me make my
child.
argument.
That's so sad, dude.
He's just not letting me make my
I'm so
argument.
sorry.
Sir,
Wait, would you reject
sir,
premise one or premise
So
two?
you're saying that he should create
Oh, that's
puppets?
so
Yes
sad.
or no?
This guy got fucking
Sir,
spawn killed.
Sir, you're saying
He's like
he
begging
creates
me.
puppets?
He's trying to
You're
like
saying he
lobby
should
me.
create
Wait,
puppets?
sorry. Do you think something
You
being
see why I have
essentially
to yell?
no,
'Cause he
no,
just
that's not
keeps
what I
talking.
said. I didn't say that. No.
You're saying, but that's what it is.
Oh, that's not what I
If
said. I
he
didn't say
creates
that.
creatures that do only what he wants to do, then he is essentially creating puppets.
Do you think
Yes
that
or no?
something being essentially
Yes
morally
or
perfect
no?
Whoa, calm down. I don't know why you're yelling. Just
It's
calm
a
down.
simple question.
Whoa, that's a presupposition. I reject that
If
these
if
people
you
would be
create
puppets.
humans to
I reject
only
that
do
these
good
people would be
things,
puppets.
if you create humans to only do what you want them to do, do they
You
have
asked two
free
different
will or not?
questions. I think that you could create humans that only do good things that would have free will.
Okay.
Do you think
all
that
right.
being
So-
essentially morally
so-
perfect means that you have no
Okay.
free will?
Okay, so we have
That
free
was
will.
wait, I'm sorry. That was
Yes
yes
or
no
no?
question, moron.
Yes
Do you
or
want to answer
no?
the question?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think being essentially morally perfect means that you don't have free will?
Being morally perfect.
Essentially,
means
by your very essence,
essentially
being
being-
morally perfect. Do you think that means you have no free will?
Say that again.
If you are essentially morally perfect, that is like what it means to be you. Part of what it
Well,
means to
you're
be
talking
you is that
about
you're
God,
morally
because
perfect.
no one is perfect.
Well, I'm just
except
asking you.
God.
Do you think that if something is essentially morally perfect, that
The
thing
only
doesn't
thing
have
that
free
can
will?
be morally perfect is God.
Okay, and you
talking
think that
about
that
God.
means that you don't have free will?
Well, God has free will.
Okay, sure. So then you can be
You said
essentially morally
perfect.
perfect.
There's no one perfect.
Okay,
except
then
God.
you concede that humans who are essentially morally perfect
We're not
could have
morally
free
perfect.
will.
Who said? When did I say we were
Wait,
morally
does God
perfect?
have? Wait, I'm sorry. Does God have the power to make humans that are essentially morally perfect? Does he have that
Yeah,
power?
yeah, he can, but that they
Sure.
would be
So
puppets.
if God
just said
made
they would be
those
puppets.
humans,
I just said they would be puppets.
then being essentially
I
morally
just
perfect means
said
that
they
you don't
would
have
be
free will. You
puppets.
just conceded
Yeah,
again.
so we're not
You
puppets,
keep on
right?
conceding that God
That's
doesn't
why
have free
you
will.
believe you
You
don't
said
believe in him,
that
and
if
I do,
something
right?
is essentially morally
Right?
perfect,
Because
then
he
it doesn't
made
have
sure
free
we
will.
weren't puppets,
God is
right?
essentially morally
Okay, can I
perfect.
ask you a
Therefore,
question?
God wouldn't have free will.
Would you
It's the
rather be
infinity
with a
blunder.
partner
Is there a
who is a
reason? Is there a
puppet
reason
to
why
your
you're
love,
terrified?
or
Is there a reason
would
why
you
you're
rather be
terrified?
with
Do you want to
someone
engage
who
with the
loves you
argument?
genuinely
Like,
by their
would it
free
help
choice,
you? Maybe you
or
could
would you
engage a
rather
bit
be
better if
with
I like
someone who
jangled
is a
my keys
puppet?
for you.
Would you
You know,
rather
maybe
date
that would be
someone
like an
who loves you
assistant
because you
in
make
terms
because
of
you
your being
build
able
them
to
to love
actually
you,
engage with
or
the
would you
arguments. The
rather want to be
premises
with
are on
someone who
screen. They're
loves
like
you
so easy
who
to
loves
follow,
you by
dude.
their free will?
Are you just here to
Are you
crash out? Is
listening?
that what you're gonna do?
Would you rather want
Whoa,
to
do
be
you want
with
to answer the
somebody who
question?
loves you as a
Whoa, sorry,
puppet,
wait, do you want to answer
which
the
is fake
question?
love,
He's not
or
going to
would
answer the
you
question. I wouldn't
rather
want to answer the
want to
question
be with
either.
someone
You keep
who
on
loves
tripping
you
on
genuinely?
Reichstag, which is why
It's a
you
simple
I
question.
can't
It's
even
a
blame
simple
you.
question, sir.
Okay, wait, if I answer
Would you
yours, will you
rather
answer
be
mine?
with someone who is fake love
Okay.
with you and who
No.
pretends, who is a puppet and doesn't really love you, is just programmed to love you? Or would you rather be with someone who genuinely loves you?
I'd rather
Simple
be with
question.
someone who genuinely loves me.
Genuinely, right?
If
So now
somebody
you
is
understand
essentially
why
morally
God gave us free
perfect,
will,
do they
right?
have free will?
All right, so okay,
Wait,
right?
sorry,
That's called free will, right?
sorry. If someone's essentially morally perfect, do they have free will?
That's God.
I'm asking you, if God made
That's
humans that are
God.
essentially
The
morally
only one who
perfect,
is
would they have free
perfect
will?
is God. You
If
said the
wait,
word
sorry,
perfect.
wait,
Humans
sorry,
are not
wait,
perfect.
sorry,
God
wait,
is
sorry.
perfect.
If God made humans that are essentially morally perfect, would they have free will?
I didn't. Who said humans are morally perfect?
Oh, you are
Who said
so
that?
not tracking,
I'm
dude. This is
saying
brutal.
God is
I'll
morally
actually
perfect.
write the question
You're
out for you.
saying
You're
when
like
did I
yelling
say
again, by the
humans
way.
are
Crash
are
out.
morally perfect?
Okay.
When did I say that? I never said that.
If
You're saying that.
God made humans
When did I say that?
who
You're
are
saying this.
essentially
You see this
morally
fool?
perfect,
He's putting words in my
would
mouth,
those?
claiming
That's not
that
the only
I
thing I'm
said
putting in your
humans
mouth.
are perfect.
Would those
When did I
humans
say humans
be
are perfect? I never said humans are perfect. This guy
have
is making up his own
free will?
He's making up his own claims. All right,
Okay,
are
this
you
is the,
tracking
wait,
now?
sorry, this is the question on screen.
Yeah,
If
yeah. God
God
is
made
perfect, not
humans who
humans.
are essentially morally perfect, would those
Who?
humans have
When
free
did
will?
when
Yes
did
or
I
no?
say God made
Wait,
humans morally perfect?
it says if. Do you know what
When
if
when
means?
did when?
Are
Oh
you
my
confused
God.
by the concept of if? If
When does the
one thing
Bible say?
happens,
God,
then
where
another thing
does the Bible
happens.
say that God made
Whoa,
humans
whoa! I
morally
didn't
perfect?
say that God made them. I
Where does
said
the Bible
if
say that?
God made humans who are
Where
essentially
does
morally
the
perfect.
Bible say
Well,
that,
that's not my
sir?
claim. I never claimed that
All
the
right,
Bible says
well, it
that.
doesn't. So where's this
Wait,
coming
but
from?
you said God has the
I
power
didn't say
to.
it. The Bible
I want to
isn't saying
know.
it. So
You think
why
that
are
it's
you using this
possible that
argument?
God makes humans who are
Yeah,
essentially
but
morally perfect?
the Bible doesn't
If
say we're
God
perfect. I
made
didn't say we're
humans who
perfect.
are
You're saying we're
essentially
perfect.
morally
You're
perfect,
using something that
would
the Bible
those
and
humans
I am
have
not
free
saying. You
will?
can't use
You
this
are
if the Bible
genuinely
and
so
I is
confused.
not
Whoa,
saying
you are
this.
genuinely
You're
so confused.
saying
You
something
said
that
it.
neither
You said that God
I
could do it.
nor the
You said
Bible
it.
is saying.
You
Do you
said
get it?
it. You
You
said that God could
cannot
do it. You
use
said
this
it.
as an
You can't unsay
argument
the stupid
if
shit that you
neither the
said. Whoa,
Bible
he's crashing
nor
the fuck out, dude.
I
Oh
are
my
saying
god, this
this.
guy is so
Do you
funny. I actually
understand?
love this. Oh, you're
Do you
yelling, by
get
the way.
it?
Whoa,
You're
calm
just
down.
making stuff
Whoa,
up.
whoa, calm down.
And you're
No
saying
need to get
that the
upset.
Bible
There's
and
really no need to get
I
upset.
am saying
Holy
it
shit, he's
even
so
though
mad.
I'm not.
He's genuinely
Okay,
furious. He's like
awesome,
screaming.
awesome.
Damn,
So can we
he's
get back
so
to the
mad.
argument?
Wait,
Can we
he
get
knew that
back
he was
to the
wrong, which is why all he
argument?
can do is run and
Can we
yell.
get back to
All
the
he can
argument?
do is
Okay,
run
awesome.
and yell
So
like
you
he's in the
haven't
fucking
shown any
wilderness.
scientific
Oh my
evidence
god.
that
Wait,
God does not
sorry.
exist.
Wait, sorry.
Correct?
Wait, sorry.
So
If
you haven't
God
shown
made
any.
humans
So you
who are
haven't shown any
essentially
evidence, right?
morally
So
perfect,
you show
would
you
those
have no
humans have
evidence.
free will?
It's
He's
just
short-circuiting.
so it's
That's
just
so sad. You
philosophical.
think that you're
So it's
going to win a
philosophical. It's
battle
not
of
scientific.
attrition?
You
Wow,
have
maybe
no
if you yell,
mathematical
people are
evidence.
going to think
You
that you're
have no
crashing out a bit
scientific
less.
evidence.
I actually
Just
think what would
philosophical.
be good
You
for your
base it
ethos
on your
is if
own
you engaged
criteria,
in the
correct?
question.
So
It's
you
like
base
so
it it on
simple.
your own
It's a yes or
criteria,
no
correct?
question. It's a
You're not using
50-50
science.
chance.
You're not
You
using
can literally guess
mathematics.
yes
You're
or
just
no, and you
using
got
your
the
own
50-50
philosophical
chance of getting it
criteria.
right.
By
So
the
what you
way,
can do is just calm the fuck
criteria
down. I don't
that
know why
I
you're
and
yelling.
neither the Bible
Holy
even
shit, this
says.
guy is
Correct?
so mad.
Awesome,
You'll
awesome,
know them
awesome.
by their
Okay,
fruits,
all
and this
right.
guy
So
said
you have no,
crash
you have no
out.
evidence.
God
So you have
damn,
no
this guy's
evidence.
so
So you have
mad.
no
This is
scientific
what
evidence.
truth and
You
logic
just
does
make
to
false
Christians, by the way.
claims, correct?
Truth
That
and
you just
logic
made
flays
up. You
Christians
don't
like
use
this guy's getting
science.
flayed.
You don't use
If
math.
you're a
You
Christian, you're
just
gonna
use
crash out like this
philosophical
guy will. You
lies
know,
that
it's
you just
something like
created,
ubiquitous
correct?
of them. He's crashing out,
So
and he has
you
to go from
don't know
point to
what
point
you're
to point
talking
because he
about,
can't actually
correct?
engage with the
You
one
claim that
simple
there is no
question
God,
that's on the
that God
screen, which is
isn't
if
real,
God
yet
made
you can't
humans
show me
who are
any
essentially morally
scientific
perfect,
book
would
that
those humans
proves your
have free
point.
will? Well,
Awesome.
he's
You can't show
trying to
me
say the
any
same thing
mathematical
over and over
equation
again. Wait,
that
do you want me to
proves that
show
he
you one?
doesn't
I can actually
exist.
show you
You
one.
can't show me any scientific book that he doesn't exist.
So-
You can't show me that. All you can do is show me philosophical claims that are not
Wait,
even
wait, what about
mentioned
this
in
one?
the Bible.
Wait, what about this one?
Awesome.
What about this
Awesome.
one?
That's a scientific. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a scientific.
That's the you're short
that's
circuiting, by the
biology.
way.
That's biology.
No, it's
That's
cosmology.
biology. That's biology. Yeah.
It's
yeah. Can you
cosmology
show me?
crash out.
Can you show me? Can you show me
Can I ask a
scientific
question?
proof that God doesn't exist?
Yeah, gotcha.
Can you? Can you?
Yep.
Ask a lot.
Yeah. Can you
Just-
show me
Just
scientific?
give me a second, please. Just give me a second, please.
I'm talking
you
to him,
mentioned
not you.
biology.
I'm talking to him. I'm not
Yes,
talking
I'm
to you,
asking
Em.
you a
I'm
question,
talking to the
please.
host. I'm talking to the host.
I know, but I'm asking
I'm
you a
talking
question.
to the
if you
host.
don't mind.
I'm not talking to
So
you.
you don't want to answer the question.
I'm talking to the host. I'm talking to the host. Host, show me evidence.
Yeah.
Show me evidence that science proves God does not exist.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the quantum eternity theorem. If there's a total non-zero amount of energy in the universe, then that
Yeah,
means that the
he
universe
thinks
is
if he can
eternal
say a
because
bunch
the
of, like,
universe.
advanced
oh,
words, that makes him
fuck,
correct.
dude. Where's the scientific evidence? Gets shown the scientific evidence. Those
Yeah,
are a lot
yeah.
of big words, guy. I don't think
Yeah,
that any of
yeah,
that
that
proves
doesn't-
that God
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
exist. That was
Yeah,
too many
I'm
big
gonna say a
words
bunch
for
of
me.
big words to prove
Oh
God doesn't
no,
exist.
that's brutal.
sure thing.
Why would you ask for a thing if you're not even in a position to
Okay,
accept
yeah,
it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Do
go
you want me to
ahead. Go
explain
ahead,
it? I
talk.
can break it down.
Yeah, use your big words.
Which word was too big for you?
Yeah, go. I don't know. It's-
Go,
you
go,
just
go,
using
go. That's
something.
the sound you
Go
chucked in my rhetorical
ahead.
dick, by the way.
Go
Which word is too big for you?
ahead. Go ahead.
You'll notice that his voice jumped like an octave just now.
Can you go
He has
ahead?
no idea what to say. He's a dog chasing
listening.
cars. He has
I'm
no idea what to do
listening.
now that he caught one.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'll say it again.
Yeah,
You
go
must be concussed.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Go
said
ahead,
it.
go ahead, go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
quantum eternity theorem.
Okay,
If
so
there
it's
is
a theorem, so it's not
non-zero-
fact?
Wait,
It's a
what do you
theory?
think a theorem
So
is?
it's a theory?
Ooh, no,
So it's
a
not based on
theorem.
objective fact?
Whoa, calm down.
Holy
It's a theorem.
shit!
The
It's a
Pythagorean
theory?
theorem. Do you think
Do
the
you know what
Pythagorean
theories
theorem
are?
isn't a fact?
Theories are not proven,
Wait, you
sir.
reject the Pythagorean theorem?
Theories are not proven.
Holy shit! I think this guy
Are
rejects
you
the
aware
Pythagorean
that a
theorem.
theory is not
It's
proven?
a whoa. Okay.
Holy
Let me.
shit!
This
He
one's
just
gonna be.
conceded
This one's gonna
that
be
he has
one.
no evidence.
That's gonna be best laid out. Theorem is spelled like
A
this.
theory.
Theory is spelled like this.
Okay, okay.
You know, you might,
All
you
right,
might
so
take
let's
notice that
see
these
how
are
this.
two
Okay,
different
so let's
words.
see how this theorem
Wait, do you under?
proves
Wait,
God
wait,
does
wait,
not
wait.
exist.
Sorry, wait, sorry, wait,
Okay,
sorry.
go
Can
ahead, go
you
ahead,
should
yeah.
acknowledge
So
that
let's see how
theorem is
theorem
different from
proves God
theory?
does not
It's
exist.
a yes no question, by the
Go
way.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
That was a yes no question.
What is it called? The quantum theory? The
Wait,
quantum
wait,
whatever
sorry.
theory?
Is the answer yes or no? Do you understand there's a difference between a theorem and a theory?
All right, hold on. Yeah. So show me how this
I
theorem
just want,
proves.
I just want
Show
verbal
me how this
confirmation.
theorem
Whoa,
proves
before you
God
crash
does
it
not
again,
exist.
I know you're like
Show me
dying,
how
crying,
this theory
desperate,
proves
you
God
know,
does not
to
exist.
dip, dodge,
Continue.
dive, duck,
Show me.
you know, to run to like a different topic, but I just want like verbal
Yeah,
confirmation
show
from
me
you.
how this theorem proves
Keep
God
on
does not
dodging the
exist.
question if you're a
Yeah,
child
show
molester.
me how this theorem proves God
Do
does
you
not exist.
understand? Can I just get quick confirmation from you that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
two words
yeah.
on screen are different?
God isn't
Just
real.
quick
Can you show me
confirmation.
how
Can
the
I get
theorem
quick
proves he's not
confirmation?
real?
Holy shit, I'm starting to think this guy's
Can
a
you
pedophile.
not stall
The
and
way that
show
he
me how
keeps on
how it
dodging the
proves he's not
question,
real?
right? I said, you know, keep on dodging the question if you molest children, and then he kept dodging the question. Wow, that's quite
Yeah,
concerning.
yeah. Can
I
you
just
show
wanna-
me how
you
how
would
this theorem
agree that
proves
the
he
words
doesn't
on
exist?
screen are different words, right?
Yeah, can you show me how this
Can I just
theorem
get
does
like
not
express
that proves
verbal
God does not exist?
confirmation? Do you see the words on screen?
Yeah,
Theorem,
can you
theory?
show me how this theorem proves
Do
God
you
does not
want to?
exist?
You just want to look up?
Can you show
You wanna-
me
you wanna do a
how
bit of
this
looking up?
theorem proves God does not exist?
Wait,
This is
I
your
know that
silver bullet,
you're.
right?
I know that you probably
This is your
gouged your
silver
own eyes
bullet,
out
right?
from anger,
Show
which is why
me
maybe you're like crying. Maybe that's why you
this
can't
theory
see.
proves he does
It's
not
on
exist.
screen. You know,
It's your
maybe my
silver bullet.
like
Show
rhetorical
me.
cum shots have
Yeah,
landed in
show
your
me.
eyes, which is why you can't see.
Yeah,
It's
show
on screen.
me,
You should use your
sir.
eyes to
Stop
look.
blabbing
Wait, you
and
should
show
use
me.
your eyes to
What
look.
is it
You
called?
should
The
literally just
quantum
read the
what?
screen. It's
The
highlighted
quantum
even.
what?
It is highlighted
The
even.
quantum what?
There's a difference between a
Hey,
theorem
I'm not
and
running
a
away from your
theory.
theory. I'm not
That's
running
so
away
s-
from your
it's not a
argument.
theory.
Your quantum what?
It's not a theory. It's a
the
theorem.
quantum what?
Theorem.
What is it called? The what?
Theorem. Quantum
The,
eternity
the
theorem.
quantum theorem. That's what it's called.
Yeah, quantum eternity theorem.
Quantum theorem. The quantum eternity theorem. What?
Yes.
The quantum eternity or theorem? What?
Are you stupid?
I'm trying. No. I didn't hear you right, idiot.
Quantum
Can you repeat it?
eternity theorem.
Quantum eternity theorem.
Yeah.
Theorem. All right. Let's see.
Yep. It's put forward by Sean Carroll. So
Oh,
basically, what it states.
Sean
is that
Carroll, this
the-
guy just proved God does
Ooh.
not exist, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
he
your
proved
scientific
God does not
evidence.
exist. Sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Because if there's a non-zero amount of energy in the
Holy
universe,
shit.
then the universe
There
must
is
have always
no
existed.
accepted scientific theorem called the quantum eternity theorem.
I can find it for you.
Holy shit.
I can find it for you if you'd like.
Holy shit.
Anyone can Google this.
Holy
Did
shit.
Sean Carroll propose the quantum eternity
Can I
theorem?
just
And
read
he's
this
using
again?
AI.
Can I just read this again? There is no accepted scientific theorem called the quantum
Proposed
eternity theorem.
quantum
Holy shit! Did you just choose a book
eternity
that's lying?
theorem.
Did you just choose? Are you
This is gonna
lying
be-
in
it's
front
gonna
of
be so
all the
sad.
audiences? Are you just like making
Yes,
shit up?
theoretical physicist and cosmologist Sean Carroll proposed the concept known as the
Okay.
quantum eternity theorem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead
Why
and short
is ChatGPT
circuit.
telling me?
Yo,
Why is ChatGPT
yeah,
telling me
yes,
something
because
else?
you get all your information from ChatGPT.
Yeah,
It's because you're an
quantum-
idiot. Wait, ask
Quantum physics does
ChatGPT.
not prove.
Wait, can you
prove
type
or
something into
disprove God.
ChatGPT for me? Can you do something for me?
Huh?
Type into
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah,
Did
I'm talking
Sean
about
Carroll
quantum
propose the
eternity
quantum
theorem.
eternity theorem?
I'm talking about
Ask
quantum
it.
eternity. It says that there's no
Ask
there's
it
no
if Sean
scientific
Carroll
theorem.
proposed the quantum eternity theorem. Ask it.
Yeah. All right. What was it? The Sean.
Did Sean Carroll propose the quantum eternity theorem?
No, Sean Carroll did not propose the quantum
Show your
theorem
screen.
in the sense of a formality named
Wait,
theorem.
wait. Sorry.
The
Do you want to
phrase
go ahead and
appears
show
to
your
be a
screen?
misunderstanding
Do you want to go
or
ahead and show your
shorthand
screen?
used by some people discussing his ideas.
Do you want to go ahead and show your
Holy
screen?
shit,
It's on
and
screen.
this is from Biola University.
Oh, sorry. I have from Biola University the literal exact opposite.
No, it literally says it
Ooh,
here from
that's
Biola
brutal.
University.
That is
No,
so
Sean
sad.
Carroll did not propose a quantum eternity theorem
Okay,
in
it's
the
literally
sense
on
of
screen.
a formally
It is
named theorem.
literally
The
on
phrase
screen.
appears to be a misunderstanding or shorthand used by some people discussing his ideas. Why are you
He
lying,
uses
sir?
that. That's his
Why
idea.
are you fighting
He
against the
describes
good
it that
Lord?
way.
Why are you fighting the good Lord, sir?
It's literally on screen in front of you. You're
Why
delusional.
are you lying in front of your audience?
It's not a lie. It's literally on screen. The proof
Oh,
is literally
boy.
on screen.
Let's
You
accept
delusional fuck.
Jesus. Come
Oh wow.
on,
Do you think
sir.
after getting like rhetorically sawed in half, let's accept Jesus is the winning rhetorical move?
I shouldn't.
That's like the most
I
delusional
shouldn't
thing
say
you've
that. I'm
said this
sorry.
entire
I'm
time.
sorry, Lord. I don't
Is
mean
there
to.
a reason why you're like
I'm
illiterate?
apologizing to God, not you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sounds very loving.
so let me ask you a question.
Wait,
So
sorry.
if I went,
wait,
if I,
wait. I already asked you a question. Do you want to answer mine?
go ahead.
Yeah. Would you mind going ahead and reading this?
Yeah. Well, I can't read it because it's cut off on the edges.
Okay. We
Yes,
can, we can shorten it down.
You sure you didn't tell like ChatGPT what is that? What AI are you using?
This is
Carroll has
Google.
explored questions
Did
about whether the
Sean
universe
Carroll
was
propose the
eternal
quantum
or-
eternity theorem?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, Stephen proposed the concept on. Yep. Well, over here it says it didn't, and it says it's from Biola University.
Okay. Well, this
Ian,
one
can
also
you-
cites
Ian,
Biola
can you-
University.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
click-
Maybe you
Ian,
told
could you bring it
AI
back
to
up?
like say otherwise. I don't know.
Just a second. Ian, can you bring it back up? Bring the page back up.
Which one? This one?
The one that you had up.
Yep.
Just click on Biola University. Where at the top, you see how it says it right next to theorem?
Yep.
Just click on there and just end the debate.
What do we got? We got brutal on Biola University itself.
Yeah. I'm looking at.
You haven't yet responded
link.
to Carroll's quantum eternity point.
Mm-hmm.
That's devastating.
So listen, Sean Carroll did not propose a quantum eternity theory in the sense
It's
of a
literally
formally
in
named
front of you.
theory. The phrase
It's not a
so
theory.
it says
He said it's a
Carroll
theorem.
has explored questions about whether the universe could be eternal, including ideas related to quantum cosmology and the nature of time.
Wait, so your
and his
source
work
agrees with
from
me.
eternity to here.
That's
He
so
examines
sad,
the hour
dude.
of time, entropy, cosmology, and conditions that may relate to the early universe. In the philosophical discussion, especially debates about God's existence and the beginning of the universe, Carroll has been associated with an argument that under certain assumptions in
Associated, it's a
quantum
big
mechanics,
word.
a universe with certain properties might not need a beginning. Therefore, a beginning of universe is not necessarily required.
Yeah.
This is not a theorem proving the universe is eternal. It is discussion based on particular models and assumptions. Carroll's actual physical interests. Some of his major areas include the hour of time, entropy, and the second laws of thermodynamics.
Genuinely devastating.
Yeah.
So wait, so would
no,
you just want to go ahead and
even
concede
if
that actually
Carroll's
he did
ideas
propose
about
this?
an eternal
Oh
or
fuck!
quantum
Wait, so
universe
then
were
wait,
correct,
so when you were screaming
hold on.
earlier, so when you were
No,
screaming earlier,
even
you were
if
just
Carroll's
wrong, right? You
ideas
were
about
screaming about how he
eternal
didn't
or
propose it
quantum
earlier. You were
universe
just
were
wrong,
correct.
right?
That
Would you want to
would
go ahead and
not logically
acknowledge? Wait,
prove
wait,
God
one
does
step
not
at a time,
exist.
one
It
concession
would
at a time.
mainly challenge a
One
specific
concession at a
argument.
time.
The
Do you want to go ahead
universe
and
had a
concede?
beginning,
Do you want to go ahead
therefore
and
it needs
concede
a
that you were
cause.
wrong? You want to go ahead and
A
concede that you were wrong?
person. So no, you're
Just say
wrong.
that.
It
Wait,
literally says.
did you or did you
Even
not
if
say that
Carol's
Carol didn't
idea
propose
about
it?
an eternal
So,
or quantum
oh,
universe
I
were
thought
correct,
Carol didn't have the
that
idea.
would
I thought he
not
didn't
logically
propose it.
prove
Oh,
God
now he
does
did.
not exist.
Damn, that's so
So
sad.
basically,
So
it
basically,
disagrees with
you
you.
lied earlier
So it
when you
disagrees with
said
you.
that
So his
God or that
argument does
Carol
not
didn't propose
prove God does
this.
not exist.
Oh, wait.
Correct?
So wait, were you wrong?
It says even
Yeah,
if
that's a yes or
Carol's
no
ideas
question.
about an eternal or
Wait,
quantum
sorry,
universe were
that's a yes or no
correct,
question.
that would not
He's like
logically
yelling.
prove God does
Dude, he
not
needs to yell
exist.
because the logic,
you
actually engaging
realize
in the
that?
logic,
Yeah,
fucking
just
butchers
because
him
you're
every
showing
single
a
time.
book, just
Every
because you're going, oh
single
look, because
time he
this
answers
guy
a question, it goes
says
bad
this
for him,
and
which
that
is
and
why
that
he
and
doesn't
that,
want to answer any
just
more
because you go,
questions.
oh,
I've
because he
answered
says
every
this,
single
our
one of his
man
questions.
just
He
said
won't
this
answer
over
any
here.
more of
He
mine.
uses
He has switched
quantum
into a
this
mode where
over
he doesn't
here.
want to answer
No,
questions
that's
anymore
proof
because he
God
lost
doesn't
the debate
exist.
so
Don't
badly.
you
When
see?
people get blown the fuck out every single time,
Don't you
all
see?
they can
You
do
see?
is
I just picked
scramble.
up a
As
book.
this
It's
guy's
nice and blue.
scrambling.
It has
Maybe you
Sean
should try
Carroll's
picking up
name
a
on
book
it.
sometime.
He
You
says
might sound
this and that and that.
a bit
So
less
that
stupid,
clearly
especially when
means
you're reading
God
the
does
word
not
associated
exist.
off of ChatGPT. You know, maybe you won't stumble your way through the word associated next time you're reading off of
You see,
ChatGPT.
I'm showing a book in
Hey,
front
Ian.
of people. It has Sean Carroll's name.
True.
So
Based.
because he says this, that means God is not real.
Hey, Ian. Do you
Yeah.
mind relaying
Yeah,
something
yeah. I
for me
think
to
that
digest?
how is that not religious? How is that any different from a religious person?
Ask a lot.
How is that
Ask a
any
lot.
different from a
Oh, he's
religious
crashing
person
out.
Ask a lot.
who show? Yeah, no, I'm just asking. I'm just showing your
Wait,
hypocrisy.
sorry, wait.
How is
sorry.
that any
Wait, do you
different
want to
from
cry?
a religious person
fuck, I
going,
kind of
look,
feel
look,
bad, dude.
I
It
just
sounds
showed
like
you a
he's
book.
crying.
It says this.
Holy
so
shit,
you
are
gotta
you
believe
crying,
me.
dude?
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds
So
like they're like,
are you religious?
You could
Because
hear
you
like the
just
little
did what
choke in his
religious people
throat
do.
just now. That's
Yeah,
so
you just
sad.
did what
Wait,
religious
I'm
people
sorry.
do.
I'm
You
so
showed
sorry.
a book. You
Are
said,
religious
oh, look,
people also
my
beating your
prophet,
ass on
Sean
the daily?
Carroll, my
I mean,
great
if
prophet,
there's some
Sean
religious
Carroll says
people,
this.
you know, maybe the
Who-
nuns
who-
should have
who-
beaten
that
your
means
ass a
this-
bit
that
harder.
means
You
God
might have
doesn't
turned out a
exist.
bit more
Meanwhile,
literate,
ChatGPT
frankly.
just said
You
even
know, I
if
don't
Carroll's
know. It makes me
idea
it is
about an
making me
eternal or
reconsider
quantum universe
my
were
moral
correct, that
commitments
would
in
not
terms of
logically
like
prove
the
God does not
justification
exist.
for spanking
God damn it,
children.
even
Who knows?
ChatGPT is disagreeing with
Yeah,
you.
this guy's crashing the fuck out.
Holy crap. Even a robot is saying, nah, that would not logically
Whoa,
prove
look at the
God does not
keys.
exist.
Look at
Even
the
a robot.
keys.
Bro,
Whoa,
how the hell
look at
does
the
a
keys.
robot
It's gonna
with
be
no
okay.
brain
You know,
disagree with
we
you?
all lose
That's
gracefully,
crazy, bro.
and some of us less gracefully.
That's
Look
crazy.
at the keys. Check out the keys. Oh,
Yeah.
look, they're jingling.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so much fun.
So are
That's
you
so much
a
fun.
Sean
Whoa,
Carrollist?
look at the keys.
Is
Check
that
the
your
keys
religion?
out. Look at these keys.
Sean Carrollist?
Whoa.
No, because your
Whoa,
prophet
they're
Sean
jingling up and
Carrollist says something
down.
that
It's
means
whoa.
God
Let's
doesn't
take a
exist.
deep breath. Look at the
When did
keys.
you
It's
become a
really gonna be
religious man,
okay.
sir?
It's gonna be okay. There's no need
When
to
did
crash
you become
out.
highly
I know you were
religious?
wrong. I know that you proved
Yeah,
yourself
sure
wrong. I
thing,
know
sure
that you had
thing,
to concede
sure thing.
because you were
Why
wrong.
does ChatGPT
And I
say
know that
that
now
would
you're
not
crashing the
logically
fuck
prove God
out
does not
because
exist?
you were wrong.
Why does
But
ChatGPT
it's
say
really
that
going to be
that would
okay. You
not
know, it's
logically prove God does not exist?
seriously going to
So
be
you don't have
okay.
proof,
You know,
correct?
look at the keys.
So
Check them
you don't
out.
have proof.
You know, lower your
You had to show a
blood
writing from
pressure.
some guy.
Whoa, wait. I have a.
Right?
We got esteemed
Yeah,
physicist
yeah.
Dr. Blitz.
Yeah, physicist. Yeah, sure thing. Wait a minute, I saw this guy before. I debated him, and
I was actually coming up just because I wanted to express how envious I was, Ian, that you got like this sort of crash out on your live stream, and all I get is like soft-spoken nice boys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
mean, you
you're a
would get.
soft-spoken
I
nice
would be
boy.
the
You'll
same. I
attract the
would be the
people.
same.
I gotta stop being a soft-spoken nice
I
boy.
would be
Yeah.
the same with you, Blitz.
It's
Don't
time
worry, I'll come
to-
to you next.
It's time for your
Okay,
bad
yeah,
boy
I
era.
hope you will.
I will come to you next. So you know what, Blitz? Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question since
Please.
you want to be yelled at so badly. If I went
Yep,
back
that's
in
me.
time, if I went back in time, and I asked people in the Middle Ages, hey, there's a thing in the air that allows you to talk to people across the world, would they believe it? What would they say to me?
They'd probably burn you at the stake.
And what else would
And
they
you
do?
deserve it, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. They would burn me in the stake. What else would they do?
Well, no, that's the thing that they would do.
What, you mean like go about
what
their
would they
lives?
say?
Like,
What kind of things would? What kind of
Like
things would they say?
afterwards, like they burn you at the stake and then like have a barbecue. Like,
Right?
yeah.
What kind of insults would they say to me?
oh, well, I don't think that you'd understand them.
They'd call
And
you a
frankly, I
knave.
wouldn't either.
Can you like just tell me what kind of insults they would say?
They'd say that you're a knave.
right? They say I'm crazy, right? Right? That you crazy. What's wrong with you, right?
They'd say that
I
you're a
Why would they say
loon.
that?
They
Why would they
probably
say
use
that?
some like old timey word for that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Why would they insult me and,
They'd
and
say
burn
that
me
you're
in
a
the stake?
rogue
Yeah, why would they insult me and burn me in the stake? Can you tell me?
because they were doing that to everyone.
Probably
Because
Well, I
they
was
were
just gonna
doing
say,
that to
probably 'cause you
everyone.
deserved
Is that your answer, host? Because they were
True.
doing that to everyone. That's your answer.
Yeah, they were doing that to like tons of people.
Oh yeah, that's your answer. They were
Yeah,
burning.
they burnt like genuinely tons of people at the stake.
why would they not believe? Why would they not believe it when I
Why
told
wouldn't
them
they
that
believe
there's
it?
something in the air that I could that helps me talk to them across the
Probably
earth?
because you have like blue eyes and freckles.
No,
Yeah, maybe because you were like
so it's
yelling
not-
at them.
So is it because they
They'd
see
say,
it
"Hey,
or
get
not?
that scallywag."
Yeah. So you guys are not being honest, right?
Oh,
Are you
yeah, of
logical,
course.
scientific thinkers?
That's what's happening here. Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
So are you both, Dr. Blitz? You have equations.
There
on
you
your,
go, Mr.
on
Dr.
your-
Blitz. That's my name.
Yeah. You have equations, right? So you're a logical thinker, correct? So can
Yep,
you
that's what it
answer
means.
honestly?
Impeccable
Can you answer
inference.
honestly and tell me why would they disagree with me if I told them that there's something in the air that allows humans to speak to each other across the earth? Why would they disagree with me?
I don't think that this is an important or serious question.
It's not a serious question, Mr. Science?
No, I don't think so.
It's
Because
not a
they-
serious question.
Well, maybe maybe the point he's getting at is that they wouldn't
you're a
understand the
doctor.
concept because the
You're a
concept hadn't been laid out
You
in the
can't
same way that this
answer
guy
and tell me
understands not a
why-
single concept. You know,
You're telling me
there
that a
isn't a
doctor
single
cannot
concept
answer
that
a
this guy
simple question. A doctor
understands.
cannot answer a simple question as to
My
why they would burn me
PhD
in the
isn't
stake.
in my PhD isn't in the history of insults
You need,
of
you need a
European
PhD to
medieval
tell me,
ages.
sir. You're telling, sir, Mr. PhD.
You want to
you're
ask me a
telling
physics or math question? By all
Sir.
means. If you want to ask me about like what
Okay,
the
Mr.
historical
PhD.
opinion is
Yeah.
of like these medieval peasants in
Yeah.
fucking France would call you like it does. I don't know. I don't
You're
care.
telling me you need a PhD to tell me why those people will burn me in the stake and not believe me?
Yes.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that is what he just said. Those words came out of his
It's
mouth.
not
We all
because
heard it.
it's not because you know the answer is gonna go against you. It's not because of that.
How was it
Why
going
don't
to
you just
go
tell me
against
what you
It's
think
not.
the answer
It's
is?
not because the reason why they will burn me in the stake and call me crazy and do all things to me for saying that is simply because they can't see radio frequencies.
You know,
Is that
in my
why?
opinion, they didn't do
No,
enough
You
to
can't
you.
admit.
No,
You
no.
can't admit it's simply because they could not see it. You can't admit that.
Oh,
No,
well,
I think that they believed in things that they couldn't see. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they
That-
believe
that's
in
like-
radio frequencies in medieval
they
times?
didn't
The
believe in
average
radio
human being-
frequencies, but they believed in like
the
lots of
average
things they
human
couldn't
beings
see. Like for
in the
example,
in the
like
Middle
Aristotle
Ages.
believed that everything travels like towards the
Yeah,
center
yeah.
of
So
the
the
universe.
so you're saying that the average
they
you're saying
believed
the
in like
average
genuinely
mid-
so many forces that they
you're
couldn't
saying
see.
the average middle
Aristotle believed in
middle-aged
essences,
person
polymorphisms.
would be like, oh yeah, you're right.
There's tons of
We
shit that
can talk to
they
each other.
believed in that they didn't or that they didn't see. What are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah, so-
about? You're so
Yeah,
illiterate.
so you're saying that they all would be like, yeah, you're right. There is
In
something
fact,
there that lets
Plato has this entire analogy about thinking deeper than what you see. It's like one of the most famous
Yeah.
analogies in all of philosophy.
Yeah. All right. So you're telling me that the average human being in medieval times would agree with what I'm saying.
The average person probably couldn't even
No.
read or
You
write.
see how dishonest these individuals are? They're so afraid to realize that science itself proves that just because you can't
Oh,
see
no,
something
he's, like, crashing
does
the
not
fuck out
mean it
still.
doesn't exist. They're
God
so
damn.
afraid to admit that.
Yeah, wait, we
Even
agree. We agree that there are
science
things
proves
that
this.
exist that you
Even
can't see. We
science,
agree with
brother.
that.
All right, so let me ask you guys.
Yeah.
Guys a question. Even though most people in
In-
that
in-
time
in-
wouldn't
in-
believe,
in-
right?
in-
Yeah, I know
in-
you're
in-
scared
in-
of using
in-
ad
in-
hominems. Let
That's
me
the
talk.
sound of
Let
my
me talk.
dick
I know you're using ad hominems. I know you're using ad hominems because
in
you're
your mouth.
scared. Look at you're scared, so you're using ad hominems. All right. So, does their disbelief nullify the fact that radio frequencies existed in
Nope.
medieval times? Yes or no?
Nope.
Oh, so radio frequencies still existed, right?
Yeah, correct.
Thank you for proving that just because you can't see God does not mean he does not exist.
Yeah, the reason
my
why God
God, this
doesn't
guy's
exist
actually
is
a
because there's a
dipshit.
contradiction.
Yeah, how is it what's a contradiction?
Yeah, God creating the universe and then the universe not being created.
God creating the universe and the universe not being created. Well,
Yeah.
if he created the universe, that means the universe wasn't created, right? At one point in time,
No,
right?
well, so God can't exist because if God existed, he'd be the creator of the universe. But then, all the evidence in favor of like the B theory of time, for example, indicates that God,
theory?
universe
Did you
can't
just
be.
use theory? Did you just say
in
theory?
terms of like the
Did
model,
you just
yeah.
say theory?
Yeah, I did. I said the
What did I
forbidden
say
word.
theory was?
The B theory of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my
right?
God.
The block
What did I say theory
universe.
know
was?
what it is.
Dr. Blitz, you know the word. You're a PhD guy. Does theory means that it's proven or not proven?
Yes.
Theory means it's proven.
It doesn't mean either of those.
Theory means it's proven. Did you just say that, Mr.
No,
PhD?
it doesn't mean either of
It didn't.
those.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Okay, so you're using unproven arguments. Awesome.
I don't think Blitz
Okay.
said
No,
that. I think
that's
Blitz
not what
said the
anybody
opposite.
said.
So yeah. So So yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh yeah,
Escalon,
moving on.
No. I actually.
Escalon, are you
honestly, bro,
fluent in
I hear-
English?
Huh?
Are you fluent in English?
I have a New York accent, a heavy New York accent.
But
That checks out, but like, why do you just like not understand the words that I'm saying, or
Yeah,
is there
I think
like
I do understand
something lost in
theory, which is why I
translation?
called it out.
I think there's
I
like
think I
probably an
understand the
entire
word theory,
brain
which is
region
why I called it
missing.
out.
I think that's probably
Would you
like
agree?
the thing that's leading
Would
to
you
the
agree
hang
that
up.
a theory is unproven?
This
Am I
guy's a big
wrong when I say
no.
that
one.
theories are
Fucking
unproven?
huge.
No,
Am I wrong when I say that
wouldn't agree
theories
with
are
that.
unproven?
Yeah.
Escalon, what is your credentials? Can you tell me what field you're in?
What field I'm in?
Uh-huh.
The field of common sense.
Goat. Unemployed.
Right? Theory mean
Bro's a
theory is
neat.
not theories are not proven,
So,
right?
Bro.
why did you mention, for example, biology to Ian? Do you have a background in it?
Say it again.
Why did you mention biology to Ian? Do you have a background in it?
No, I don't need a background in it.
You know.
Do you have a background in any science?
I use this. Remember, I'm in the field of common sense.
I don't think
Okay, it's the
anybody.
field of common
I don't think
sense.
anybody should
Yeah,
ever vote
I
Republican
have
for
a
any
PhD in
reason.
common
But I
sense.
think the strongest argument for voting Republican is that right now, as things stand, your tax dollars are going to this guy who's an unemployed loser. That is like the single
did you just
strongest
concede?
argument.
Did you just concede by talking about Trump?
Escalon.
Did you
Legit
concede
agree
by
argument
giving to Trump?
against the Social
Yeah, so I'm in
Democrats.
the field
Yeah.
of common sense. So
Sure,
the
sure.
field
The
of
field
common
of common
sense
sense.
tells me.
Just a second, please, Escalon.
Yeah,
The field of common sense, does it
Yeah.
tell you that germs exist?
So the field of common sense
Could
tells
you answer
me
the question,
that
please?
the field, germs exist. So the field of
Okay,
common sense
why do you
tells
believe
me.
in that when it's a theory?
I'm sorry.
Why do you believe in that when it's a theory?
Yeah, the germs exist. That's not a theory.
It is
They
a theory.
exist.
It's called germ theory.
It's called germ
Literally,
theory.
you can literally see germs in the microscope.
I know.
That's not a
It's
theory.
still
That's a
called a
fact.
theory. It's
Yeah, that's
still
a
called a
fact.
theory.
That's a
It's still
fact.
called a
You
theory.
can
Oh
literally
no.
see
Yeah, Google it. It's
germs.
germ theory.
Yeah, you can literally see germs in
Yeah,
the.
sure. It's called
Yeah,
the
whatever.
germ theory of
Anyway,
disease.
because I have a PhD in common sense, I know I
Sure.
know.
Wait, this is.
I
Sorry,
know
what
that I
Oh
university?
no!
don't
I got
all right?
sad
I
news.
know that I
Oh
don't
no!
I
Oh
know
no!
I don't
Oh
need a PhD in
no!
biology
Oh, that's so
to
sad.
know that the human
Oh,
body.
how could it be?
Yeah,
How could
yeah,
it be?
yeah,
Oh no!
Wikipedia.
That's so sad.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Germ theory.
Holy
It's
shit.
germ theory.
Wikipedia.
Oh,
you
that's
see?
so
I
sad.
told you.
Oh, devastating.
Wikipedia. I'm
Oh,
smart.
brutal.
I
Ian,
smart.
that's
I can pull
brutal.
Ian,
Wikipedia.
just give me a
Oh
second.
no!
That's
German
correct. Can you finish?
theory
Can you finish your
and
sentence, please?
Wikipedia.
Can you
So
finish your
I'm
sentence,
correct.
please?
I told you. See, you
And then
stupid.
ignore that for a second. Can you finish your sentence that you were saying?
You
You don't
stupid.
need
You
a.
stupid.
Sure.
Wait, if you wanted to make
That's
fun of our
correct.
voices, you'd actually have to start speaking a bit clearer
Yeah.
in order to imitate us.
Yeah, I give you that. I give you that.
Escalon. Could you finish your sentence that you were saying? The one about you don't need a PhD in biology.
Yeah, I don't need a PhD in biology to know that the human body is a complex, intelligently designed organism. It has a lot
Could
of
you name
advanced.
could you name 10 organs?
Yeah, the hypothalamus, the kidneys, the esophagus,
Is the esophagus an organ?
It is, yes.
Okay,
Oh, no.
I wasn't sure if
Did
it
you-
like
did
counted
you
as
really
like
ask that
as like its
question,
own
Mr.
organ,
PhD?
or
Wait,
if it's
okay,
like its
wait,
own
wait,
thing.
wait,
Mr.
wait, we're up to three,
PhD
we're up to
actually
three.
asks
We're up to
are
three.
esophaguses
Yeah,
organs.
his PhD is in physics.
Yeah. Wait,
okay,
I just
you
want to know.
need-
Wait,
you
I
need
want
a
to know.
PhD in biology to
I'm
know
dying.
that-
I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know
Are
what the
you
10
serious,
organs
bro?
are. Please. I just want to know what the 10
remember-
organs are. Wait. We're on three. We're on three.
Wait,
Wait. More organs, please.
Wait. He needs.
He got me.
He needs.
He
He
got
needs
me.
a PhD in biology to know what a damn organ is. To know
No.
if the esophagus is an organ. Is that what you're saying?
And no, it's not his field. So can
Oh,
you finish
man.
listing them?
Also,
Oh, wow.
I mean, the one that I'd probably
my-
challenge
my-
is the hypothalamus. Is that really an organ? I
You're
thought that
saying
was
the
just like,
hypothalamus isn't an organ?
isn't that just a
It's
region
just
of
like
the
a
brain?
part of your.
The hypothalamus
yeah,
is not
I
an
think it's
organ.
part of the brain too.
It's not an organ.
I don't think that
Wow.
each individual region of the
You-
brain is
these
its own
guys,
individual organ.
they-
The brain
they-
is an
they-
organ.
they just
I don't
said
think the
they're small.
hypothalamus is its own
He
organ.
This guy thinks the
It
hypothalamus
is.
isn't an
It
organ.
is.
Is,
So the way,
am I living in the Twilight Zone?
Just a second. The way most people would classify an organ is just a structure made up of different tissues, and
Oh.
a tissue is a group of similar cells doing one specific organ.
Oh, I
function.
see. Sure. Okay. So because the hypothalamus all does the same function. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
so
is
the
made up of
hypothalamus
different
does
tissues.
different
Yeah.
functions. It
Okay, so
doesn't
we're
do
so
just
on
one
the we're
function.
on three. Do we have four? Can we see
The
four?
hypothalamus does more
Yeah,
than
maybe could
one
you finish?
thing.
Sure, of
It
course.
doesn't
How
just.
could you-
Wait, what is
it
the
doesn't just
hypothalamus?
regulate heat. Uh-oh.
Who
said it
So
just
is an
regulates heat?
Yeah,
organ.
nobody said that. Okay.
Who said it
Thank
just
you,
regulates
Constance.
Literally
You
nobody
have
said
common
that.
sense.
Wait,
Why,
so
why,
We
we're
why,
on
finished
why
three.
listing.
am I
We're
more
on three.
smarter than you guys? That's crazy.
Okay, let me.
finish.
In fact, let's write them out. Let's get the 10 on the board. So we got 1 hypothalamus. We got 2 kidneys. We got 3 esophagus. Something like that. 4. What's 4?
Yeah, the heart,
Heart. We got that. Yeah. Fuck
the
yeah.
lung,
The lung, singular.
the
Yeah.
brain.
Brain. Seems redundant, but
Yeah,
okay.
yep.
In fact, wait. Actually,
uh-huh.
okay. Let's call.
Could you
Yeah,
break
you're,
down-
hey, you're asking for
let's
10
call a-
organs.
let's
What's
call a
going
quick-
on?
Just a second. Just a second.
Let's
Could
call
you
a quick
break down?
challenge. I'm not sure if we should include both hypothalamus and
you-
brain.
I wouldn't, but could you? Since
But,
he
but
has.
you know, it,
since
Okay,
he
it
we're
has-
shows
gonna-
since
that
he
I know
has-
the names.
We're gonna
right?
replace the
It shows-
first one with brain.
It shows
and
that I
then
know the names,
We'll
right?
take this
It shows that I know the
one.
names, right?
No, wait. You know basic names that a 12-year-old knows.
Yeah.
or a 10-year-old
But
knows,
they're
7-year-old.
organs, are they
But just a
not?
second, just a second.
Yeah, I'm
Could you break
remember,
down?
I'm the
Could you break
PhD of
down?
common
Just
sense.
a second. Could you break down the regions of the brain?
The regions of the brain. I think there's a. I just said hypothalamus. Did I not? Did I
Yeah,
not mention that?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
you
So
what
can
are
you
the
put that
regions of
back
the
since
brain?
since he's asking me
Sure,
this
sure.
question?
What
can
are
you
the
put that-
regions of the brain?
Yeah. Can you put it back?
The
frontal lobe-
it
the
seems
frontal
redundant.
lobe-
I'm not sure if
the
we should include both
frontal lobe-
hypothalamus and brain.
Yeah. Can you add the frontal
Sure,
lobe?
just
Can you
add the
can you
frontal
add the
lobe.
frontal lobe?
Frontal lobe.
And
Yeah.
what other lobes are there? Go ahead.
Yeah. The medulla oblongata. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Medulla oblongata?
Medulla-
That
I
is
forgot
not
what
a.
it's
That is
called.
not a. That is not a
Yeah,
lobe.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry.
The medulla is not a
Medulla
lobe.
oblongata?
Yeah, that's a yeah.
It
So
is
I
not a
just
lobe.
mentioned like
It is not a lobe. That is not a lobe.
yeah.
I'm asking
yeah.
you for the regions of the brain.
Yeah, I just said frontal lobe, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
then-
there's a real lobe, right?
Yeah, we got the real lobe. I got the fake
Yeah, yeah.
lobe. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a what?
Yeah.
There's what?
Yeah. All right. So let's mention more organs. The liver.
No,
Right,
no,
that's
wait,
that's an
no,
organ,
wait,
correct?
wait. Tell me the regions of the brain.
Yeah, you're asking for an organ.
Sure, but what are the regions of the brain?
Why do you go from asking for organs and now you want me to mention all the brain?
Because no,
Is it
not,
because
not
you
all
know
of
that
them.
I can?
Not
I
all of
can-
them.
Is it because you know
Because
that I can?
because you can enumerate like
Yeah,
basic third
Yeah,
grade
is it
level
because you
organs,
know
yes.
that I'm capable of naming at least
Bro, I
10
bet.
organs?
Holy
Is it-
shit,
is it-
dude.
is that why?
All quiet on the
Can you
frontal
put the
lobe. I bet this
intestines in
dude's amygdala is huge.
Yeah, can you put the intestines in there?
The
which ones?
intestines.
Intestines, the small intestine and large intestine. Can you do that?
Small-
Thank you.
Wait,
Now-
wait,
now,
wait.
thank you for
Do you wanna-
helping
do you
me.
want- do you wanna
Thank
break those down?
Thank you,
Do you wanna
Ems,
break those
for
down?
helping me finish the
Do
list.
you want to break those down?
Ah,
Do you want to
I
break those
just,
down?
I just, am
Do you
I,
want to break
am
those
I,
down?
did I just prove you guys wrong or what?
No, you didn't. Do you want to break those down?
Yeah, you see, PhD
You wanna
in
break
common
those
Are you
down?
sense.
supposed to? Are you supposed to spell the
This,
seventh
this is
one?
actually quite good.
We're doing-
I'm actually quite impressed, which I guess is what's the opposite of an indictment? An endorsement of the social democracy programs in New York. You must have gotten a good middle school education to remember all of these.
Damn.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you asked me a question and I just answered it.
And
Are
no,
you
you
mad?
didn't.
Why you mad?
No,
I
you
just
didn't.
asked.
I asked
asked
you
Oh
what
you.
is
my
the-
god.
what are the
Remember,
regions of the
Are
I
you
have a
mad? Why are
PhD
you
in
mad? He
common
screams
sense.
into his microphone.
Remember, I have a PhD in
Oh,
common sense.
no.
You asked for 10 organs, and I started giving you 10 organs. Then you got scared
love-
and said, "Holy
I
crap!
love-
Let's
wait,
ask
wait.
him what the portions of the brain are."
Wait.
and I
Ian,
gave you
love,
at least
I love
3.
how he's so.
And then you
No,
were like,
didn't.
"Holy
You
shit!
didn't
Yes,
get
he knows
God
the
damn,
name
this
of
guy's
some of the
wired
parts of the
up.
brain." Holy
You
crap!
only gave Habibi.
He knows what
again,
hypothalamus is. He knows what
okay,
the,
what
I
are the
don't know how to
functions of the
pronounce it well, but he
hypothalamus?
knows that there's something called
The what? The what?
medulla oblongata, whatever it's called.
You can't even pronounce it.
Yeah. I admit I can't pronounce it, but I know that there's something around that.
What does it do?
That sounds like. What does it do? I actually forgot. It's there in my memory, but I forgot. It's there. I learned it
Okay, what
before,
does the
but
hypothalamus do?
I haven't looked it up in a long time, so I kind of forgot.
What does the hypothalamus do?
The hypothalamus generates hormones to regulate the
It generates hormones. Mhm.
yeah to regulate the
Which ones?
the body's heat, and it causes you to sweat.
Which hormones does it release?
Yeah. So is it
Which
is it
hormones
not
does it
enough?
release?
So what you want me to explain every single thing to you to
No,
prove
just
that I
that
know
what you're
some things
talking
about the body?
about is
So yeah. So
again,
so
what you're
let me
talking
ask you
about has
a question.
nothing to
So
do with actually enumerating the functions of the hypothalamus.
so are all these organs just randomized things that have no purpose?
Huh?
Depends what you mean by purpose.
So do they have purpose? Function?
Depends what you mean by
purpose?
purpose. They have
Yeah,
functions. Yeah,
what-
they have functions.
Yeah, they have functions. Yeah, do the functions have purpose?
Oh, it depends what you mean by purpose.
Do the functions have purpose?
Depends what you mean by purpose.
You see, guys?
You can ask the question as many
Do
times as you
the
want. You're
functions
gonna need to
have
clarify the question.
Purpose.
Sounds like
You
he
see
doesn't want an
how
answer to
they
the
suddenly
question.
they go from pretending like they're professors and then all of a sudden answering like they're like in K-12. Do the functions of these organs
There are
have
two different
purpose?
ways to
Yes
define
or
the
no?
How do
word.
functions have functions?
Yeah. Do the organs
Oh no,
functions?
short
Do
circuiting
the
again.
organ
Spawn killed
functions have
again.
purpose? Yes or no?
Yeah, it depends what you mean by purpose. So there's like
It
two.
depends
Whoa,
what you
wait,
mean you
sorry,
have by
wait, sorry. Do
purpose.
you want the answer? I can give you the answer
That's
to the
his
question.
answer.
He doesn't want the
That's
answer.
his answer
it
because he's
seems.
afraid to admit
So you might
that God
mean
created
okay.
us.
Here's what we can say. So you might mean one of two things. Maybe what you mean by a purpose is something like the function that if it did not play that function, it would not have evolved in this way. In which case, under that definition of purpose, you would say yes, they do have a purpose. But then there's an alternative reading of this word where maybe what you mean by purpose is something like an agent
can you just
designed
please
it
answer
to
the simple
achieve this
question and
end.
stop
In which
blabbing
case,
your
no,
mouth?
they certainly don't have that. It comes down to how you use
Can
it.
you just answer this K-12 kindergarten
Okay,
simple question?
so I just
Do
answered the
organ
question.
functions have purpose?
I just answered the question. Did you not hear?
No, you didn't answer the
I just
question.
answered
You,
it.
you started
I just
like
answered.
blabbing
Did you
all
not
kinds
hear?
of things because
Okay,
So-
I'll
so it
answer
does or
again. I'll
doesn't?
answer again.
So it does or
depending on what
doesn't?
you mean by
Watch,
purpose. By purpose. So you might mean like the function that if it didn't have that function, it would not have evolved in this way. In which case, yes, organs do have a purpose. But the alternative to that, you might mean something like, the thing that they were designed to do, in which case, no, organs would not have a purpose under that reading of the term. So like I said earlier, it depends what you mean by the term.
So organs do have purpose, you're saying? I mean, yeah. The organs have their functions have purpose, you're saying, right? You just said that, right?
It depends on the reading of the term. Like there's a reading
Do they or
of
do they not?
purpose that you'd say that, yeah.
Do they or do they not?
Depends on the definition that you're using.
I'm pretty sure that a real PhD professor could answer this question very easily.
I'm not a real
Why-
PhD
why-
professor, and in
Yeah, I
fact,
know
what
you're
a
not. I
real
know you're not.
PhD professor will
I'm
tell you
aware of
is that
that.
it depends on the meaning.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I realize you're not a professor in common sense either.
Do you want me to like
see-
type out the answer for you, or
Yeah.
I answered the question?
Do-
Wait, can you summarize
All
back
right,
to me what
so-
my answer
so-
was?
Okay. So
You didn't listen to the answer.
yeah, because you're just blabbing, bro.
What was the answer? Wait, how do you know that I was just blabbering
hear
if you
that
didn't
you
even
say
listen?
that there are I did
How could you
hear-
possibly know that I'm only
Yeah, because
blabbering
you're
if
just
you don't
blabbing
listen?
away, bro. You're just because you don't
But
want to
how
answer
would you know
straight.
that if you didn't listen?
Because you don't want to answer
If
straight. You're
I
scared
answered
of
it
the question.
directly, how would you know that I was blabbering
It's a
if you admit that you
kindergarten
didn't
question.
listen?
Can you give me a yes
Yeah.
or no?
Let's go with yes.
Do
Yeah, let's say
organs
yes.
do the organs in the human body have
Yeah,
purpose?
yeah, let's say yes. What then?
They do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So you think that these purposes were just random?
Yeah, well, without these functions, then they wouldn't have evolved that way. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so
they're not
what is
random.
evolution?
They are
What
that
is
way
evolution?
because they wouldn't have been selected for if they weren't that way.
Yeah. So what? So who made that choice in evolution?
Nobody made the choice.
Nothing made the choice, so it was random.
What makes the choice is statistical rules about survival and reproduction.
Yeah. Oh, so something realized that.
Oh no.
Yeah. So in
Short-circuiting
order to
again.
realize that, so something must have decided this thing needs to survive. So it needs legs so it could crawl on the beach.
What's the argument? Wait,
You're
prove it.
telling me that that's not
He's
intelligent
not,
design?
zero argument for that.
Yeah, you're telling me that's not intelligent design?
Wait, as much as I'd like to keep on making fun of you, unfortunately, I do need to go drop
Yeah.
my girlfriend off at the train station. Okay. 1 sec.
Who
Do we
was
have any
obnoxious?
supers? Fuck. In fact, I was supposed to leave like 30 minutes ago. Okay. Fuck. I actually can't read any of the supers. I have to leave right now. Fuck. I feel so evil. All right.
If only you had a PhD in common sense.
All right.
Only.
Love all of you. Later.